what basically happens is the whale kisses you passionately, Amy. You guys watch as this massive gray whale just, and you kind of watching in horror as this love scene takes place in front of you. What do you do? Yeah, actually, you should all make resolve checks.
Yeah.
To see if you just.
So is that resolve and survival, maybe?
Yeah, I think survival is
Yeah,
probably
okay.
good. Duncan,
So-
if you want, you can just elect to take the damage to your brain.
I was thinking about being like, well, this is interesting.
Yes.
Duncan is like, puts up his camera, hits record, periscope the shit out of this.
Well, it's a horrible beauty,
All right.
really, is what it is.
Oh,
We don't have
wow.
Darren. We don't have Darren here to rein in our opening gag.
What does this have to do with Doctor Who?
What does this have to do with Doctor Who? I
Everything!
feel sorry for anybody who goes back and watches this again and is like, what? Yes, so hello everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Eric's TBD RPG, the show that was named without my consent.
It's pretty brilliant, though.
It's going to stick
Yeah.
because it rolls off the tongue, so we're just going to go with it.
ETB the RPG.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
fans.
Yeah. We'll come up. The fans have actually, you guys have actually already started coming up with a way of tying that into Doctor Who somehow, and like coming up with what TBD RPG stands for, Doctor Who wise. So yeah,
Gravity Falls style,
interesting
we could just
stuff.
meet somebody named Toby Determined here.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Toby Determined.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man.
so
He's a
before
global
we
journalist.
begin,
That one, it's good.
before we start this the episode off today, you're going to be seeing a link go up either on Twitter or possibly, I don't know,
Twitter.
are we getting it? Twitter, right?
It's
We're
on
not
Twitter,
getting it in
yeah.
chat. So it's on Twitter now. So we just put out a link because
12:30. It'll be out at 12:30.
Okay, it's scheduled to go up at 12:30. so there'll be a link going up at 12:30 because we've gotten some questions about. There's a lot of people that didn't even know a Doctor Who RPG existed. Lots of folks didn't know that Cubicle 7 was publishing this bad boy. Cubicle 7 publishes a lot of really cool RPGs. They have the license for Lord of the Rings called One Ring that they just published in 5th edition, which is coming out, called Adventures in the Middle Earth, and their Lore Master's Guide's coming out soon. But if you guys want to check out the One Ring, they have PDFs up at the website I'm about to direct you to. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Cubicle 7 because they've been really sweet and like promoting the show and giving us awesome games. So I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. They have a sale. There's a sale going on Drive-Thru RPG right now. It's just complete wibbly wobbly coincidence, in all honesty, because we're not
Sure
sponsored
it
or
is.
anything.
Is it?
No, we're not. And so if you go on the link that's going to go up at 12:30 on our on the Geek and Sundry Twitter, there's a Bitly link that'll connect you to Drive-Thru RPG, where they're having a bundle sale on the starter books for the Doctor Who role-playing game. So you can get the core book, and I think like 2 of the other books are up there, and it's half off. It's like $60-something
How long
dollars
does
worth
that
of books
sale
for like
last?
$30. Yeah,
Well,
in PDFs.
check on the link and find
So
it.
at 12:30,
On a show.
at 12:30, check on it. Do we need more pencils? Do we need pencils, Duncan?
I was trying to
Trying to do this
quietly
subtly?
signal someone
Well, the
over
Are you
there.
trying to
That's
tell
not-
someone something?
It's not
What's
really
going
the
on?
style around here, is it? Yeah,
No, we don't do
It's really not
subtle.
what we do.
Geek
So,
and subtlety.
We're a bunch of fighters, not a bunch of rogues.
So without any further ado, unless you guys have any announcements, I know Crit Roll likes to do announcements, which is great, but we're not quite as famous as Crit Roll. So
Yeah.
Don't throw
is
them.
anybody voicing over any amazing video games coming up?
Sorry?
What's that?
Arms. What is that?
Is
couldn't
anybody
watch the Nintendo thing live
is anybody voicing over some amazing video games or anything? Is that an
Well, just in the comfort of my own home.
excellent?
you know.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go past announcements and get straight to the recap of the game. Did one of our lights just threaten to fall over on us? We're fine. It's just the players that die. I don't care. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to keep that in game. Sorry, guys. Little excited there.
His
Okay.
inner monologue has become.
Inner monologue is coming out. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. Let's do a recap
right.
to Doctor Who. Okay, so as I said before, last week was our very first episode where our intrepid heroes woke up in the belly of a reality-devouring, I guess, blob, an amorphous sort of like entity that was just floating in space that was left over from the events that took place during the 50th anniversary episode of Doctor Who, where the entire planet of Gallifrey was, spoilers, if you haven't seen it yet, it's like a 2-year-old episode now, but the 50th anniversary episode where Gallifrey was frozen in a moment in time using all 13 TARDISes from the different time periods and lifetimes of the Doctor. A side effect that completely contradicted what took place at that particular moment is that somehow one of the regenerations of the Doctors, or one of the incarnations, specifically 10, or David Tennant, but 10, the regeneration 10, was flung into an alternate universe, which theoretically should create all sorts of paradoxes for what happened in the universe you left. But flung into an alternate universe where you woke up without any memory of who you were, along with a bunch of strangers you had never met, including a Centauran who is in my heart. We love, what's it, Veleg? Is his name Veleg?
Third librarian Veleg.
Third librarian Veleg. We love you, Darren.
Something keep. I didn't finish writing down his title.
I'm
It was
convinced.
Too long. Just Veleg.
I'm today. I told everybody, and I was like, this is gonna find out. Today's the day we find out if our show can stand on our own legs because Darren's not here. I was like,
Pretty much,
Darren
yeah.
was our first episode. That was a hell of a lead-in. So, so you guys managed to find out that you were inside the belly of this giant reality-devouring creature that apparently was feeding on the energies that drew it here when you jumped into an alternate reality, which even in the Doctor Who universe canon is something that's even for Doctor Who, is something that should be damn near impossible to do. If you remember correctly, if the audience is listening at home, you guys might remember that when the Doctor said goodbye to Rose, he had to drain the power from a star in order to make that transmission happen. That should give you an indication of how difficult it is to jump into alternate realities. It has happened, of course, because it's Doctor Who. This is actually a great segue into a disclaimer. None of us are experts on Doctor Who. we love the show, and we read up on it, and we listen to the audio plays. But we, like so many of you who might be watching at home, we were introduced to it when the show was relaunched in the early 2000s, except
Darren.
Duncan, who is from the UK and who's been living with Doctor Who all his life.
And I watched it on PBS as a kid, so.
Really,
Yeah.
Matt Smith was my first Doctor, and
Oh,
that's what
okay.
sold me. So
Tom Baker.
Tom Baker, nice.
I had seen like maybe one Tom Baker episode, and Eccleston
is
was the
so
first one for
charming.
me.
Yeah.
That man is so just like to this day so ridiculously charming.
Darren, of course, has seen everything.
Darren
since.
is old school. Darren brought his encyclopedia last episode, so he is old school.
I mean,
Doctor Who.
I don't want to over exaggerate my knowledge because really I just grew up sitting around watching my dad watch Doctor Who. It was kind of how it was.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
It was funny with my dad, where when my brother and I got really into the relaunch series, and we were trying to be like, Dad, you got to watch this. You're gonna love it. Blah blah blah. And he's like, Doctor Who, the scarf guy. And I was like, yep.
Doctor Who
Old
was great.
school nerd, Dad.
Doctor Who was great for me because when Star Trek went off the air, I didn't have any idealistic, hopeful, and inspiring sci-fis to turn to.
Sure.
Because we went straight. Because I went from Star Trek, the Next Generation, like Deep Space Nine and all that stuff, and all the later Star Trek.
Voyager hype?
Yeah, but once Enterprise went off the air, because I know we won't get into debates on Enterprise, but
Different mythology.
Enterprise
Yeah,
got
let's
good.
not.
We're not gonna. I know this is for other show conversations.
Yeah.
But basically, before we get into the game, I'll just say that then we went into the Battlestar Galactica era, which was awesome. But then I started noticing that all television was getting really dark, and that's when I discovered Doctor Who, and it made me realize how much I missed that idealistic, sci-fi stuff. I love it. So that's a nice segue. Back into the game. So you guys fought your way through all of these dangerous pitfalls. You were attacked by a creature that bit Darren's head, and which caused him to giggle, and then Darren, being a Centauran, murdered all of them, crushed one of them's head, and the rest of them swallowed. One of your companions that you had met inside this reality
Rocococo.
during the intense escape attempt to get to the center of this thing to find out what was stabilizing it into this reality, Rocococo was lost. As the floor basically opened up and I rolled terribly, and Rocococo finally got a taste of what it was like to be Sandra Bullock in the movie Gravity. Only without a spacesuit.
Key difference.
So more like
That's not a good thing.
more like Event Horizon, sadly.
Oh.
Anyway, you guys managed to get back to the TARDIS, which clicked. Being around the TARDIS has what some of you may not know, a reality quotient that keeps it stabilized as it jumps through the time vortex. And as you guys entered it, you realized that was actually what was stabilizing this creature. It was like swallowing a rock, basically, and it was keeping the creature anchored in this reality. And all of your memories were restored. And Amy realized that she was the Doctor.
Yay!
Holy crap! Which resulted in some adorable moments with Amy almost breaking down crying live on stream, which you can now watch on YouTube
You tried
right now.
being the Doctor and acting normal.
And before this creature collapsed and destroyed everything, you all jumped into the TARDIS, where Darren pulled a gun on Amy and tried to take because every Sontaran
best
knows who the hell
Sontaran.
the Doctor is. Yes, you are the Doctor. Tried to arrest you. You managed to convince. Is it Vegrin or
Velig.
Velig? Velig. Thank
Velig.
you, Velig. Managed to convince Velig not to, in fact, arrest and kill you. And you guys jumped away in the TARDIS just as this thing collapsed. And that brings us to the top of today's episode, where we start off. Don't sue us, BBC.
Should we mention, for anyone who wanted to catch up on last week, have we mentioned that it's Twitch subs can watch the VOD and everyone can watch it on YouTube?
That's correct. The first episode is available on YouTube, and Twitch subs and Alpha subs can watch it VOD. And that might change in the future. We're still trying to figure the parts of the show out.
It's the TBD. And
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the TBD. It's the TBD part.
Everything's TBD.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that'll bring us up to speed. So we'll go ahead and begin our adventure. When we
Right.
last left off, you guys had jumped into the TARDIS and warped away just in time. We begin today with the Doctor. She is at the controls, still lamenting how uncomfortable this gray suit is. You're gonna have to do something about that.
I will.
It seemed to work pretty well in the beginning, but to be blunt, the shirt is a little tight now. And it's just not fitting you. Like, you're beginning to realize how lanky and skinny you were. You're like, your sleeves aren't quite fitting the way they used to.
sand shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and that's the other thing is your shoes don't quite fit the way they used to either. So the rest of you, however, are still trying to comprehend the fact that you've just run into a police box which had no business being where it was, and now you're standing in what looks like a massive room with a huge column going up the center, and it's making a lot of grinding and wheezy noises. It is, in fact, bigger on the inside.
I love this thing.
So, here we are. The controls of the TARDIS. You guys sitting there at the controls. Velig right now is gripping one of the handrails sort of off to the side with his big gun. What is he named?
Blue Death.
Blue Death.
Blue Death. This gun, by the way, this gun that he acquired from that creature when he was running is about the size of him. Like, this is a massive weapon. But somehow, of course, being a Sontaran and built like a little tank, this guy is hoisting it up like it's nothing. And he's kind of gripping this railing as he's watching you as the TARDIS begins to sort of rock a little bit. You know, Doctor, you're starting to realize there's a lot of turbulence that normally isn't found in the time vortex. Only when something is wrong does this kind of thing happen. So I'm going to need to start the game off with you making a roll, Doctor.
All
I need
right.
you to roll.
I'm not the Doctor.
Let's see. This is going to be. Let's go crazy. This is going to be a ingenuity and transport, but you have the vortex.
Yes, +2 to piloting the TARDIS.
Yes. So go ahead and add all that together and see if you can make River Song proud.
Ingenuity and transport, 13. And the 2, I just add them.
That's correct. So it's 2d6.
Yeah.
And add your
13, 14,
attributes and skills.
15. Ooh, 25.
Well,
25.
well.
Oh, by the way, you can take the top of that dice tower off if you ever want to use
Right,
it.
yes, of course. That's what the dice tower's for.
25.
Eric got us these really, really wonderful Doctor Who dice.
These Q Workshop dice, I love them so I could talk my head off. Duncan knows because Duncan used to be my boss, and I used to surf the internet looking for Doctor Who dice. And every time they would make them, they would be unlicensed, so they'd be discontinued or sued into oblivion the moment they would hit this.
Right.
So I was trying but then Q Workshop got the license through Cubicle 7, and they made these. I'm sorry. I'm just
and a
gonna,
pair of 5s
No,
means
no.
I rolled
get-
2 canines.
2 canines. Yay, master. Okay, so with a 25, you're managing to keep control of the TARDIS, but she's kind of doing what she wants right now. It almost feels like she's being ziplined across the universe, and it has nothing to do with the plotting of the destination. You guys are essentially lost in the time vortex. When you jumped, it was the idea was when the TARDIS entered the vortex is that you were going to sort of plot your destination from here. It looks like she's kind of plotting the destination for you. You're grabbing hold of the controls, and you see you're going somewhere. You're not sure where. And you two are still trying to come to grips with where the hell you are and what's going on.
And while Bargle Bill is being thrown about by the time vortex and the turbulence, he's just fascinated by everything he's seeing, and he's trying to touch everything.
I'm going to say your so the Doctor Who role-playing game has this really interesting table that tells us technology levels.
Okay.
So Earth technology, for example, is 4. 5 is spacefaring, 6 is starfaring, and 7 is interstellar, and it goes up from there. Time Lord technology is 10. So you are probably somewhere on, I would say probably at 6 technology scale.
sure, yeah.
So your eyes are like saucers.
Right.
Because you're seeing tech that you didn't think was possible.
Right.
In your wildest dreams. Things that you probably can't come up with a name for. So you're also seeing strange circular script written all over these digital screens that are kind of popping up around this console unit.
Sure.
Whatever you're looking at, you don't know what it is, but this woman, who now is calling herself the Doctor, clearly knows her way around the console system.
Cool.
And she's working frantically to keep control of what's going on right now.
Oh, yeah, you've got one of those, Tumble. Yeah.
Welcome to the TARDIS, time and relative dimension in space. It's just a little unusual right now.
Your TARDIS seems to be having trouble with the suspension, is what Velig says as he's gripping.
Oh, are you going to be doing Velig for today?
Probably, we'll see.
see.
Probably, I doubt I could do Velig justice. Pike is on Critical Role. Pike is sweet, and Pike will throw herself in front of a train for her friends. Velig is selfish and bloodthirsty, but also kind, but it's also Darren, and I just don't know if I can keep up. I'm not, yeah. So we'll see. But anyway, so yeah,
Thank
you guys
you
are
for
being tossed
elaborating,
about.
Velig. Just a little busy.
So what? Tell me, what the hell is this place? I mean, obviously, I've never seen anything like this before. Where the hell are we? And why is it so huge in here? It doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm going crazy.
Oh,
Am I tripping? Am I still drunk? What is going on?
Am I still asleep on the floor of the pub that I was
For
in?
real?
so is it Cillian or Killian?
Silly.
Cillian, thank you, sorry. Cillian, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have any memory. I haven't met him before, right?
No, you guys are only just now finally introducing yourselves, but you guys have never crossed paths before. And this has been your first time where you're not in, at least so far as you can perceive, you're not in immediate danger. So this is the first time you guys have had a face-to-face of like, oh yeah, this is me and that's you, and kind of an introductory thing.
But I can tell from what you've said and pretty immediately that you are a human from Earth.
You kind of, yeah, you've had enough encounters
You
with
get the
Earthlings.
impression.
Yeah.
The level of how dumb I am is giving you an idea. Yeah.
This is we've got to figure out where you came from and how you got here, but I'm so glad you're here. This is the TARDIS, time and relative dimension in space. We can go anywhere and anywhen. We're having a little bit of trouble navigating right exactly at this moment. But it's...
So you're a...
I'm an alien.
You're a
You're
look
a
like
human
a
from
person.
Earth, right?
I am. You look like you're a human from Earth as well. I mean, that guy's obviously an alien, but you look
Hey.
like...
Hey, it's definitely,
Very self-aware.
yes.
Okay,
a
all
bit-
right.
Excuse me, you hear Velig chime in as he's kind of rocking back and forth. You are the alien here, not me.
Maybe
Thank you,
we're
Velig.
all aliens?
Well, in a sense, that's absolutely right. You're going along very quickly for an Earthman.
No, I disagree. I am a Centauran. You are the aliens.
Well, I mean, in like a big universal kind of way, I mean, really, do you ever really know anybody else? I mean, we're all aliens to each other, right? Right?
I have
Okay.
considered your words and have decided you are wrong.
Fellas, I know I brought this up, but come on. I mean, this thing is like going crazy.
And as soon as you say that, the TARDIS everywhere, you guys jolt suddenly. Like almost like you were hit by a car. The whole TARDIS jerks suddenly to the left.
Hold on.
Velig, who I just rolled
we
for,
do our little-
has
Yeah.
lost his grip. Yes, everyone do the Star Trek shimmy, yeah.
Wait, I'll go the wrong way.
So Velig loses his grip, and you see him tumble, and kind of tumble sideways, and his head slams into the console. Duncan's like, there's the device to get rid of Velig for this episode. Slams into the console, completely convincingly knocking himself out and dropping to the ground. You guys
and
all need to roll.
conveniently partially fixing the turbulence problem?
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. I
No,
wouldn't
we're
do
not
that for
going
you.
there.
Yeah, no,
No?
but I do need you all to make.
I tried.
I do
Thank
need
you.
you all to make a coordination athletics check. It's going to be tricky on
This is
this
going
one.
to be a bad roll.
Yes, the difficulty is 15.
I
I don't normally tell you difficulties, but I'm going to give you this one.
I don't
Yeah.
make it per se.
9.
9.
8.
8.
14.
14. Okay,
Just-
so all 3 of you take 2 points of strength damage.
Oh.
Yes, I do.
That's
it's going
not
to be,
good.
it's going to be stun damage. By the way, if you have any stun damage from last game, it's cleared off.
Okay.
What if I only
So just
have,
write an S.
What if I only have 2 strength?
Oh
Then
my.
you are knocked unconscious. Or rather,
Hey.
in this case, you basically, Cillian collides with one of the rails, and it basically...
Cillian Rail.
Cillian Rail!
Wow.
There's the, yeah.
That is dedication to a bit.
There's our presence for puns today.
Yes.
So you slam into that rail, and it jolts you so severely, you collapse to the ground, just completely stunned. You're like, and the TARDIS comes to a dead stop, and you hear the grinding sound of that final noise that it makes when it arrives somewhere.
Billy, you all right? Can you see to Cillian and Relic?
Well, sure, but I mean, you're the doctor, aren't you?
Yes.
You see the console go spark a little bit.
Oh, it's not quite that kind of doctor.
Right. And he goes
Can
and
I-
kind of makes sure you're still breathing, and he kind of pokes you. Yeah.
What's my best diagnostic tool?
Probably,
Can I just sonic you?
if I had to guess, I would say it would be
Yeah.
your Sonic.
I'm gonna take a moment to see if they're all right.
Scan that bad boy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you pop out the Sonic and start to scan the thing a little bit. The TARDIS is really good at giving you a good.
Oh, I was thinking them
Oh,
diagnostics.
them? Oh, I'm sorry.
But
You're-
yes, then the TARDIS.
Okay, so you're gonna check him out.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
yeah.
it.
You just
I'll
run the
definitely
Sonic
use
over
the
him.
Sonic
Yeah,
over.
Sonic
Sweep
does
of the
basic
area.
scans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of he's got a very mild concussion, probably not serious. He's gonna be fine. But yeah, he got knocked about. Cillian did not. Cillian kissed that rail at high speed. Now they're best friends.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Rail, what's up? Didn't know you felt that way.
I'm like, is there a first? I've got medicine.
My name's Rail.
Okay.
Your name's
Yeah.
Rail. Yeah.
You've already taken my name, baby.
You basically prop his head up. He'll be fine. He just needs a moment to sort of catch his breath. But you're kind of coming to Cillian, and you kind of, as you begin to focus, you see I guess a middle-aged woman with blonde hair and in a uncomfortable-looking, skinny little gray suit, looking at you with concern. And this glowing thing in your face, just kind of scanning you.
You're a doctor, right?
It's not quite that kind of doctor, but according to the sonic screwdriver, you'll be all right.
So what kind of
Let's find out where we are.
So what kind of doctor are you? Tell me you're not like a psychiatrist.
No, it's a bit different actually. Just call me the doctor.
Oh, all right, the doctor. Let's do this.
All right. I think
Etsumi I also stabilized Velik, but I'm unsuccessful at getting him to wake up.
Velik is, as you roll him over, the first thing you heard out of his mouth go, "You are under arrest in the name of the Centurion Empire."
Perhaps a bit of rest for Velik.
Yeah, maybe waking him up is probably counterproductive.
Doctor, I couldn't help but notice, but we've stopped moving.
Yes, I believe we've arrived somewhere. Shall we find out?
Oh, yes, please. Let's.
All right,
Shall we?
let's go.
Let's shall.
As you begin to move forward, Doctor,
What do I do to change my clothes? I know I do it all the time.
The TARDIS has
Yeah.
everything you need.
I know that's.
As you step forward, you hear a ripping sound, and you stop and...
One moment.
Hey, can I take some of those? I mean, I slept in these like twice.
Normally we find out where we are before we put our outfits on. But
Okay, you just run off the catwalk suddenly. You see her just take off and slam a door, and that's when you guys realize there's a door.
There's another room.
There's
in
another
here.
room in
it's
here.
actually even bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
What? Oh, this is incredible.
one
A
moment.
few moments pass, and almost comically, it's almost cartoony in its effect. But she returns just moments later in her Doctor
Coat
Who.
and skirt and
Yes.
beautiful art by Matt Olson.
Yes, if you guys haven't had a chance
Yay.
to see it, you step out.
Much better.
As you step out, Amy, you see a console open up on the TARDIS. It goes, and you see a new sonic screwdriver, a new Mark sonic screwdriver emerge.
Ah, lovely. I quite like this one.
Could I have your old one then?
What happens to the old old ones? Wait, hold on.
Well, typically the old ones the plot devices they use in the show, the old ones get lost.
Sure.
They break because they don't want to just have them passing around.
Yeah.
In this case, we'll just.
The old one mysteriously stops working, bursts into
Oh,
flames.
I assume that it's inactive, but
Spend some story points to say that it fell in a hole and I didn't just use it to diagnose his medical condition.
I wouldn't have you spit a story point. I'm sure there's somebody in chat right now screaming exactly what happens and how it works and stuff like that.
I'm so sorry.
We'll go
what
ahead.
happened, here's what I would say, is you left it in the other jacket and it got absorbed by the wardrobe in the TARDIS.
Hey,
That's
so
a good one.
Today, Michael will be running Doctor Who.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
No,
that was
that's
not an admonishment. That was brilliant. I'm turning over the reins. That was a great.
Sabrina said much better. Wait,
You
hold
step
on,
out,
hold on.
just going. Oh, I forgot and then, yeah.
Lovely.
So, some new sonic screwdriver pops out. You walk over to it, and the TARDIS begins to make sort of a grinding sound, which is, you realize it's indicative of every time there's a regeneration, the TARDIS regenerates itself, the interior kind of, and usually it's hazardous if somebody is inside.
I think this might be a good moment to step outside, shall we?
After you.
Okay, the three of you walk out into whatever you're about to walk into. As you guys open the door and step out, before you have a chance to sort of react to your new surroundings, as the three of you kind of all pile out of the TARDIS, two things come to mind. The first one is, oh my God, Velig, and then the door goes, closes.
Oh no.
And you hear clicking sounds as the TARDIS begins to go. You hear that wheezing sound pop up as it begins to fade, and the TARDIS just vanishes.
So is Velig trapped in the TARDIS?
He's a little bit. Oh no.
Thank God. That guy was terrifying.
And what snaps you out of it is you start hearing screaming sounds from all around you. Taking stock of where you are, yes, where the hell are we? You guys look around and realize you are in what looks like, at first glance,
Velig!
you guys, yeah, exactly. Nope.
Death!
We need the Centauran back. You guys, your immediate surroundings. You are in a massive room that looks like you can see down the length of it, and you see the entire area that you're in is made of wood.
We're indoors in a
You're
wooden
indoors. You're in this massive wooden room that's oddly shaped. The walls kind of
badger?
a wooden badger. You guys, the walls kind of slope downwards a little bit, which is kind of unusual. Almost like the room has an angle to it. It's made out of all wood. The next thing you notice is you're seeing all sorts of kegs around you. You see ropes swinging from the ceiling. You see all these things wrapped up. You also see people running around like crazy and shouting orders and screaming. If you guys want to go ahead and make a quick ingenuity check, I'll say knowledge and ingenuity.
Okay.
This is not going to be difficult.
I'm gonna guess this is a shit.
15.
15.
23. That girl has a lot of ingenuity.
Ingenuity
And knowledge.
and knowledge.
Yeah.
11.
11. You all know that this is the hold of a ship. And judging from what you're seeing, it looks like something is going down right now. People are shouting and screaming. One person has paused to look at the three of you and then just keeps going to what they were doing. You see a bunch of people coming down a ladder towards the end of this hold. The dress, Doctor, from that role, you would probably say, judging from the way these sailors look like they're dressed and from what you're seeing around the hold, you're probably somewhere on Earth, anywhere between the time of 1600 to 1800 in that block. Your guess is probably late. Actually, I've got the time right here. Your guess is, where are we? Your guess is probably early 17th century. Early 1700s, rather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're hearing lots of shouting and screaming. And from that role, you probably guess that something very important is happening right now.
Well, Silly, we've got you a bit closer to home, but not exactly where we might have intended.
What's in the kegs?
Yes, what's in the kegs?
And at that point, you
Bring
hear...
out your screwdriver.
At that point, you hear, brace, brace, from above the deck.
Hold on to something.
And then you see all the sailors go, they all drop to the ground or grab hold of something or hide behind something. And that is followed by the sounds of thunder from the outside. I need all three of you to make an athletics, I'm going to say, we'll say an athletics, a coordination athletics roll. Thankfully, you're going to have some bonuses here that I have not revealed yet. Damn it,
10.
Eric, I'm the doctor, not an acrobat.
10.
10, okay.
8.
Okay.
10.
You actually all managed to succeed except Mike. Bargle, you fail, but you're not gonna. Basically, what happens is when you guys hear the thunder and you see everyone brace, it occurs to you what's about to happen. The two of you immediately go and just drop to the ground. Bargle, you're like
He's not
from
doesn't
Earth,
know.
don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
You're like, what?
What's that sound all about?
The wall to your right, it happened so quick. There's an ear-shattering pounding sound accompanied by the crack and breaking of wood. Something flies past your face at high speeds. Whatever it was, you feel the heat trail off of it. It sends you flying back as wood shrapnel explodes all over the area. You guys are rained down upon in splinters, thorns, like the whole bit.
In the background, we hear, "Stop blowing holes in my ship!"
Yeah. Stop blowing holes in my ship! Lots of pounding on the sides of the wall. Obviously, you guys are under fire from a cannon. That ball that just went right past you, that is going to do, with that roll, you're going to take 2 points of damage to your... actually, you're going to take 1 point of damage to your strength.
Okay.
And you're going to take 1 point of damage to your coordination.
Okay, so
As you go stumbling back as a cannonball goes right past. So you're going to erase those circles from your character sheet.
okay, I had 2 stun done to my strength from the TARDIS.
One of those would have healed back.
Okay, so I've got 1 stun and 1.
Same with you, Duncan. You're probably at 1 stun right now.
One stun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had lost all my strength, so...
Right. So you're at 1. So you've only got 1 stun left. So you guys are a little disoriented.
I
from
also
this.
had taken 2 stun.
Okay, so yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you. You guys have 1 stun healed
Okay.
Okay.
because that wears off pretty fast.
All right.
Okay.
But what you've now got, is it a different type of damage?
This is physical damage. Yeah.
Okay.
This is from the shrapnel of the hull exploding to your right now. You guys were narrowly missed by a massive cannonball that just smashed through the hull of the ship and went straight across the area you guys are standing in. You watch this thing as it smashes through a lot of the cargo plates, the cargo boxes rather. You see it's collide with the other end of the hull, but it's lost enough momentum that it bounces off the other end of the hull and it goes rocketing towards the center, and you see it smash through 2 sailors who were taking cover from it coming from the right. This ball just smashes, bounces off, and it kills them instantly. Smashes through and just rolls. It's pure chaos as it rolls across the deck. I would say, Cillian, probably the first time you've ever seen someone die. Definitely the first time you've
exploded.
ever seen someone die horribly.
Yeah.
And now 2 in a row. So it's kind of like shock. Bargle, you're like, huh, and then you kind of reach up and touch the tip of your nose and realize that this thing, there's a slight burn on the tip of your nose where this cannonball, it was that close. It stings the moment you touch it. You see this blue spot on the end of his nose where the skin just kind of got rubbed off at high speeds. It's like a scrape basically, but it's just at the very tip, and you're like cross-eyed, like, ow.
Should we go then?
The
bit
ship
too
begins to
exciting, maybe.
lurch, and then you hear shouting above.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Yes, please.
Okay, you guys pile up onto the deck. You kind of push your way through sailors who the chaos is too much for them to stop and figure out who you are. A few people kind of pause and look like they're going to go for a weapon, but none of you. The first thing they notice is a woman who wasn't on the ship originally, so they kind of pause. You guys actually manage to make it up onto the deck. With the confusion that's going on, no one immediately tries to stop you. You arrive on the deck just in time to see gun crews pulling cannons up to the sides again. You also see
We're on a boat.
Yes, you're on a boat. We're on a boat! You see the open ocean around you. There are gun crews, there are sailors, everybody running about all over the place, screaming orders. There's a man that's hanging by his ankle, swinging back and forth from one of the masts up in front of the ship. Looks like
Flag on this boat.
you can't see it above the sail, but what you do see is people dragging wounded off the deck. And you see a very large man. He has ebony skin. He's got this big vest on right now, guns all over it. He runs up to the top of the deck where you see him shout up, "The captain's been killed! The captain's been killed!" And as he's shouting that, you see somebody approach the railing, just strides up, and that's when you see our first mates and
our special
taking
guest.
our special guest, stepping in. Yay! Go ahead and describe yourself, Gina, as your character strides forward to overlook the damage to the vessel.
Well,
Do you have a description?
I do. You see a slightly scrawny, slightly dirty, rascally little fella. And with the fear of becoming the captain now, clear on his face.
What's your character's name?
Finn Alexander.
Oh,
Very nice.
well, who's posh?
I'm thinking not him.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
So the guy that's shouting up to you was quartermaster of the ship. His name is Tall Jim.
Tall Gem.
Jim.
Jim.
J-I-M. J-I-M. Jim.
Okay.
Tall Jim. Tall Jim has been serving on board your vessel, the Saucy Jack.
Yep.
Whoa.
The Saucy Jack is
It's a saucy ship.
she's a brig, so a two-masted ship.
She's a naughty one.
Yeah.
The Saucy Jack is a brig, a two-masted ship with a nice ramming sort of. I forget. There's a name for it, but it's basically this thing that they would put on the front of ships that were good for smashing into other ships. 8 guns, so not a lot in firepower, but the crew is pretty skilled at getting things done. But Saucy Jack, where her strengths are, is that she is maneuverable. The ship can get around. However,
Well, with a name like Saucy Jack, I'm sure she does.
you guys are kind of
Yeah.
spot Finn up. You guys spot Finn up on the railing, as Finn is sort of taking the quartermaster. This guy is shouting up, "Finn, Finn, the captain's gone! The captain's gone! What are your orders?"
Turn the ship. Head straight for them.
Tall Jim looks at you kind of like, Christ, and then runs up. That's when you guys are sort of watching all of this happen, and that's when you kind of turn to your right and you see what you're up against. There's a ship about 300 yards away, pulling away. It's a frigate. You guys are completely outclassed. This is a 3-masted ship with probably about 20-something guns on one side alone. It looks like it's a modified frigate. Big ship. You can clearly see that its crew, whoever is in command of this ship, got the drop on the Jack, and is currently, as they like to say, if you've ever seen Master and Commander, has the weather gauge. Right now, the wind is with her, so they're actually moving off to the side. You guys are, because of this attack and the captain being killed at the wheel. The Jack is currently listing into the wind, so your momentum is all but coming to a stop, which is very bad. Jim just runs up to the top and, taking your order, grabs hold of the wheel and begins to just come about and start shouting orders for the sails to be dropped. That guy who was hanging by a rope, you see someone cuts him loose and he just his body just collapses to the deck, dropping 40 feet.
Well, he's dead.
Oh yeah, you're pretty sure that when he hits the deck, he was probably dead before he hit the deck. Everyone's in full alert mode, and
Is that like a guy who accidentally got caught up in the ropes, or a dude that they had just executed?
probably, from the looks of it, probably a
Bit of
guy
both.
who was standing on the mast when you guys came under fire and was killed when the ship was hit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He probably fell off the mast and got tangled in the ropes on his way down. It's a long fall from the main mast. Finn, that's when you notice there are 3 people on the main deck down below you, about 30 feet away. You've never seen in your life. You've been sailing on the Jack for about 3 years.
Yep.
You know every single person on this ship.
Yeah.
These 3, not only do they not belong, but there's a woman on this ship. And
And a tiny, squatty man.
there's a blue, like, it defies explanation, but there is a blue creature and they're all dressed very strangely.
Yeah.
A little pudgy, bald blue man.
And they're all staring at you with mouths slightly agape.
Doctor, where's your police box?
It's
Oi!
a busy
What
moment.
happened to the police box?
What are you doing on my ship?
I think he's talking to us.
I do believe
I could ask
he is.
you the same question. We have no idea what we're doing on your ship.
I think we've got a little more important things to focus on at the moment, don't we?
Yes.
Well, Captain,
So you're gonna run up there and because Finn is currently on the deck with the
right.
yeah.
I'm
I
high up.
She's up
don't
at the
feel
main
like
deck.
hiding is going to serve us well on this.
There's nowhere to hide on a ship.
Yeah.
Unless you're a
Let's go
stowaway,
talk to
but
You're a
really for
lady.
the most part, this is a world unto itself.
Let's hide in
Yeah.
one of the kegs.
We should probably pretend we did hide in one of the.
Judging what you know from etiquette of this time period, stowaways are usually dealt with harshly.
Can anyone think of any reason that we would be?
This is the doctor is like, can anyone think of an excuse that we can give?
Like just told him the truth. We came here in a time machine.
No,
Hey,
no.
I pull my sword.
They're all having
I
this
pull my
dialogue out
sword.
loud.
No,
Okay.
we're not. No, we're not.
Your blade comes out. You see Finn, this young man, just draw this falchion-looking blade.
Okay, let's calm
Captain,
down for a
behave
minute
yourself
here.
now.
Let's
We're travelers, but it looks like we have some more important things to focus on right now. Captain, a few willing hands to help.
Captain.
Perhaps we should run away.
Captain, tall Jim looks at you and says, "The rudder." He's like, he's jerking on the wheel. He's like, "I've only got 90 degrees," and he's pulling on it. Your ship is, the jack is turning, but not enough.
Where is the bad ship?
They are now, I would say, about 200 yards to your aft.
Okay.
And it looks like, so basically your ship is going this way, and they did a pass, and they've
Okay.
got the wind. So they're slowly starting to make a turn, which means they're going to be able to broadside you here
yeah.
pretty soon.
Captain, listen. I know it sounds insane, but can we get to the rudder? Can we get to the rudder of the ship? Is that possible?
I'll tell you right now, because your character would know this.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Someone
Okay.
would need to be lowered on a rope down to get a look at it.
If you're willing to trust us, this woman has a tool that can fix almost anything.
He doesn't know it doesn't work on wood.
He doesn't know that.
Okay,
that
yeah.
Do you have a thing out loud? Do you have a thing that fixed this?
They
We'd
all
love to help
Of
in any
course
way we
she
can.
does.
Can I spend some story points to have a good idea about the rudder?
I can tell you now that your sonic screwdriver will absolutely not work on the rudder of
Yes.
a 17th century sailing vessel.
No.
Wait, the sonic screwdriver doesn't work on wood?
No, it does not work on wood.
It doesn't do
You can
wood.
scan wood. You can do,
Well,
but
sure.
it doesn't fix wood. You
It's
can't-
wood.
I guess that is made of wood.
Yeah, it doesn't fix wooden mechanical objects or anything like that. It has to be
Interesting.
tech. It has to be tech.
Yeah.
All right.
Or,
that makes
or
sense.
mechanical somehow.
Sure.
But I've got
can work with
Boffin,
that.
I've got Jiggery Pokery, I've got.
It's true. So you run up to the side and look over this. And look over. The boat, the way the jack is a brig. When you look over the side of the railing, it just gives you a view that goes straight down into the water, which is churning underneath the boat right now. So the deck will go. So basically, as you're looking down, the ship kind of goes in like this, as most ships did, and the rudder's somewhere down here, so you cannot eyeball it from where you are. You are, as
Lovely.
as Finn has suggested, someone is going to have to go down there on a rope to eyeball and see what the damage or the problem is. And you have to do this quick,
Yes.
because this frigate is bringing to make its turn. They're going to have to load their cannons, but they will have a shot on you guys pretty soon.
All right. I don't think I would think of any reason that either of you would be better suited for it, so it's
Yeah, I'm an electrician, not a carpenter.
just gonna.
A crap one at that.
You've never worked on a boat before. I'm very sorry about that.
What's
No.
your crafts, Duncan?
My craft 4.
4. So
I've actually got the highest craft. I guess I'll
you might be the
I'll
best person
volunteer-
for this job.
I'll volunteer.
But you don't know that my sonic won't work.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell
You would
us
have to.
it
You have to
won't.
let. You'd have to let.
I'd
so-
be like, this tool's good in a lot of situations. A rudder, not exactly its strongest point. It doesn't work on wood.
Tall Jim turns around and says, "Captain, whatever they're going to do, they gotta do it now."
Oh, bloody hell. I'll go down there then.
lash a rope to him. And these two guys run up to you and immediately start tying you into this hemp rope. Very
I'm going to
uncomfortable.
spend a story point for this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cillian,
Yeah.
Wait,
And I'll send people. I'll just shout at general crewmen that I can see.
I'm
Yeah.
General Truman.
Doing your captain thing.
Yeah. Everyone else down to the gun ports. Start loading those cannons.
Okay. Everyone starts immediately taking your orders because everyone has known you. These guys have served at your first mate, so now you're captain. You see gun crews immediately running to the cannons. One of them, you see two of these guys trying to push over a cannon that's been knocked over in cannon fire, and it's taking them a minute. But you see the powder being brought to the deck, and all the guns are being loaded. The Jack, like I said, she doesn't have that many guns, but she does have 8-pounders. So they're enough that at close range, these guns will do some damage to the hull of an enemy ship. But you guys are going to have to get close.
Yeah.
Cillian,
Can we
Cillian,
run?
when you're down there, whatever you do, try not to die.
That's a bit-
Sound advice, yeah,
Done.
all right. I'll try not
Yeah.
to die.
Over you go! And then one of the guys just pushes you off. And you...
And I miraculously fix it.
What'd you
I
roll?
rolled a
So
A
that's
TARDIS.
and
And a
so,
canine.
So it's this plus you.
So it'll be your
craft.
ingenuity. It's going to be your ingenuity and craft, but we're going to
Can
have
I
to.
talk through it
So
with
first
you
of all,
and
I'm going to
help
have
in
to tell
any
you
way?
what you see.
Okay.
So I'm going to first of all, I'm going to have to tell you what you see and what's wrong with it, and then we can see if you can fix it. But I'll let you hold on to that roll.
Okay.
Okay.
So you go over the edge as this guy just suddenly shoves you, goes, off you go, with a smile on his face. You go tumbling over the side, and for a split second, you think he just committed you to death.
Hold on.
When the rope catches. And you swing, slamming into the side of the boat. Just a bit of a bump. By the way, at this point, I would say you guys can heal that last stun. Enough time has passed where you
Great.
guys can
Cool.
heal that last stun. And they start lowering you down. Cillian, it occurs to you for a split second. You just have a moment where you realize that this is actually happening. You were dangling off the end of a boat somewhere in the 1700s. A frigate is positioning itself somewhere behind you to open fire and kill you guys.
It's behind me directly.
Directly.
because I'm hanging off the
Yes.
edge of the boat.
You are actually technically
I've just
closer
seen
than everything
3
else.
people get obliterated by cannon fire.
Yes.
Like 3 hours ago, I hardly ever left London.
You had just finished a pint and we're going home, and
Yeah.
now
Can
You're-
I sense that that he's sort of struggling here a bit?
you don't sense a struggle, but you do see as he's being lowered. He's not at the rudder yet, but you do see as he's being lowered. You see Cillian just kind of shake himself out of like, you've seen it before in many a companion.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is happening to
Yeah.
me right now, kind of thing.
Cillian, you're brilliant. You're so brave, and just talk us through it, and we will all get through this.
Cillian, you're brilliant. All right, I can. You're brilliant. Okay, all right. What am I doing here?
You get
What
down.
am I doing
What do you
here?
see?
I have no idea. What
Just
I'm
focus on what's in front of you.
The rudder's been damaged by cannon fire. It's very obvious the moment you see it. It looks like the jointing mechanism that actually turns the rudder. It looks like it's intact, but you can tell that there has been some damage. That's not allowing the rudder to
doing.
turn
Maybe
completely.
there's some shrapnel jammed in there.
Stuff.
As well.
Yeah, you could probably. It looks like it might be possible to try to. From what was your roll again?
It was
You had a-
18.
It was what?
18.
18. That's an excellent roll. With an 18, okay, you just hit the target number, which means you will succeed. But
Well, I did also spend a story.
Oh, that's
point
true.
on
You
this,
did.
and I've only done the first roll.
that's true. So you will. Well,
Do
one
I
sec.
get to roll again?
You
I'm
should
looking
have
it
got
up.
more of these.
Well, it's 12. I just haven't written in the other one.
Oh,
yet
lovely.
Because yeah.
If you want, what we could do, and we'll have to check on this, but I know that you can use a story point to bump yourself up one level of success.
Okay.
So right now you have success, you succeed, but if you spend a story point, I'll let you knock that up to
yeah,
good.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's knock it
so
up
go
to
ahead and
good.
erase that story points.
Okay.
You're sitting there looking at this thing as you're swinging back and forth. The first thing that comes to mind is you're like, how am I going to... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, no, this is actually easy. I see exactly what's wrong. It's not just a combination of damage to the rudder from cannon fire. It is shrapnel. But it also looks like the shrapnel has just compounded the issue. It looks like the hull of the ship hasn't been cleaned in a while. They probably haven't had time to scrape the bottom of the ship in probably at least a year. So
Okay.
it's build up. You see barnacles. There's all sorts of stuff that's kind of jammed up the rudder. It's not in its finest shape.
Okay.
with a story point, I could say that you're an electrician. So I'll say
I've got some.
you have your
building
not
knowledge.
sonic screwdriver. You pull out the Phillips head.
Your silent screwdriver.
Yes, indeed. You all don't know what he's doing, but you see him kind of, pulls out you see him pull something out and starts swinging towards the rudder, and then he disappears into the ship for a moment.
Sylvian, remember, don't die.
And when you, all right. And the moment you say that, you guys hear off in the distance.
Oh, bugger!
You look up just in time to see
Brace
these.
yourselves.
Yeah. You see, it looks like as the ship is turning, it's kind of doing a rolling shot, which they'll do sometimes when they're trying to turn and they can't get a full broadside and they just want to open fire at will. So as the ship makes a turn into the wind, you see any cannon that can fire on you as it's rolling to its left is firing. So you see 3 beautiful, pristine puffs of white smoke just appear off the side of the ship. And you then hear the crack of that sound barrier from these cannons being blown out. You hear the thunder finally hit the ship as cannonballs sail in your direction. Let's see how they do.
Oh, he gets to.
Yeah, that was
3
a sly
shots,
look.
yeah.
I've seen one.
Splashes in water. Duncan, one of these cannonballs impacts on the sea just beneath you, and that foaming water just erupts in a spray, and you are drenched as this cannonball, you hear this sort of like strange high-pitched whistling sound, and then as it approaches, you realize, your eyes widen as you sort of realize that instinct that, oh my god, I'm gonna die, just like surge of ice going through your spine, and you hear as this cannonball just slams into the water next to you, drenching you.
That was close.
All right, Cillian.
The adrenaline just kicks in, and you just go to work on this thing. You are going to need at least one more round, so to speak, to sort of unjam this thing. But you see, also, Tall Jim is not making your job easy. He's constantly jamming on the wheel to try to get the rudder to turn as he's up, as he's desperately trying to maneuver the ship. So as you're sitting there trying to unjam the top of this rudder, this massive rudder, which is twice your size, the rudder itself just keeps going.
Oi, Jim! Try not to die down here. Stop turning the rudder.
Perhaps hold on the steering for a moment there.
Jim says, stops for a second. At about that time, you hear up on the deck, "Ready to fire, sir!"
Are they
The
next
gun-
to us?
No, you guys don't have a shot.
No.
Cannons are ready, but they have total advantage on you guys. Jim looks at you and goes, "I think we're gonna have to run."
I think running's an excellent
Do it.
idea.
So, in tandem with you saying, "Oh, I'm trying not to die down here," the rudder suddenly straightens as Jim turns and starts angling himself sort of in the direction you guys need to head. He's going to have to do what's called tacking, which is where you go like this onto the wind. But you guys, like I said, the Saucy Jack is a smaller ship.
Yeah.
She's a little bit faster.
She's feisty.
We can escape then.
Yes.
We're lucky.
Yes. You guys are going to have to make... I'm going to have Gina here. Finn is going to have to make some rolls. But 2 more rolling shots off the side of the
no.
frigate.
Jeebus.
So you get to go first.
Yeah, because we're technically not in so this is sort of like
Like,
action
you're not
outside
talking.
Of, action outside of combat. Yeah, the cannons are talking to you guys right now.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Hey, I want to kill you.
That part is clear,
spitting,
yes.
as they
We
would
all
say.
speak that language.
fiery death?
Once again, splashes of water as these rolling shots.
Ooh.
The Saucy Jack is is living up to the reputation of being able to be nimble.
Yay.
But more cannon fire splashing around you guys.
Have we got you back yet? I'm
No,
so
I'm
uncomfortable
still-
having to
No,
let you
still-
put
I'm
yourself
down
in
there.
danger.
I think right now I might be trapped down there because we're sort of weaving. It would be difficult to get out. in
You
that
pop this
situation,
thing
right?
out. Yeah, so basically what happens is you pop out the rudder and you immediately see a reaction from
Yeah.
Jim as he goes, I've got it! And he starts tacking into the wind. As that's happening, Duncan, you start, poor Cillian kind of lurches and swings off to the side. You're like, swing, as you see cannon fire, like all these cannons like splashing around, you're just like swinging back and forth off the back of this ship.
Pull him up.
All right, let's get you back.
Bargle immediately just runs over and you grab and you start helping, pulling him up on board. Go ahead and make an strength, and I think this will be strength athletics.
Sure you
we'll
wanna
just
do
see how
that?
fast.
It's gonna
We'll just
be
see
a
how
tough
fast
one.
you get Cillian up.
12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got a big bonus from the two guys that are helping. Yeah, I kind
on
of
the
picture
ship?
you going rapidly upwards the way Ray did in Ghostbusters 2 when he was like, "Get me out of here, you guys!" You suddenly you go from swinging and just going whoop, like they just grabbing you. People working in tandem just pull you up onto the deck. You see a very soggy-looking English electrician spill onto the deck. Yeah,
That's fantastic, Cillian. Oh, are you all right?
Cillian, as you hit that deck and you realize what you just did and what just happened, there's that sort of yes, exactly. You guys
Yeah.
also hear suddenly the popping sound of wind catching in the mainsail, as there's almost a lurch as the jack hits the wind. And you guys, immediately the ship begins to list slightly, about 15 degrees, as
Okay.
the wind catches and you guys go.
Aha.
The frigate is now turned and it's only got a few forward-facing guns, so
Do we have
You-
any back-facing
Bit of
guns?
adventure, yeah?
there's really, if you want,
Bit of an understatement, yeah.
what I'll do
Move
here,
the
That's
cannons
amazing.
to the back of the ship.
yeah, you can do that. It's
Yeah.
going to take the gun crews working, but they can actually, so what the gun crews are going to have to do is they're going to have to they're going to have to get a cannon on ropes,
Okay.
and they're going to have to pull it up to the back of the deck, and load and like position 2 cannons off the side. That's a tough job, but you can order your men to do it if you want. Gina's like, I want to kill.
I
some
wanna
shit.
do it.
It's my pirate ship.
All right.
Yeah, speaking
I-
of, have we spotted any flags? Or is
Uh,
this obviously like, they're not wearing uniforms, I'm guessing.
No,
No.
they're not wearing uniforms.
Oh, and I shout at the wet one. I just,
Okay.
well done! Remind me to pour you some ale later if we survive.
All right. So does this mean we can stay on your ship now?
For now, and then you have to explain the blue one to me later.
All right.
Yeah, Jim's looking
I'll
at you
try.
like, he's not sick, is he, Captain?
Well, we don't think so, but we don't really know what.
Doctor.
it
He's
is.
got a very unusual condition.
Doctor, make an awareness check.
Yeah.
It's gonna be straight up awareness.
Straight up awareness?
Yeah.
Hey, our favorite combo. 11.
TARDIS and a dollar.
It's not hard to spot, so 11 works. Yeah, you see the flag. It looks like the Saucy Jack looks like the flag. How do I describe it? It looks sort of like a corrupted version of the British flag. It looks like it has sort of it's the white flag the flag that they would fly at the time. So you do see the Union Jack, but it's on sort of. If Duncan, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does have.
Like the St. George's Cross?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the St. George's Cross, but it looks like it has a sword going through it. A red sword.
Is this a past thing or an alternate universe thing?
Yeah, you're not
Probably
sure.
past.
You're not entirely sure. You could use the TARDIS to look up the Saucy Jack in the registry if you had a TARDIS. So hopefully that'll be coming back soon. The TARDIS does pop back in once it's done reasserting
I
itself.
assume that hasn't happened yet.
You don't know. You haven't been back below the deck, but it's only been about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys running up onto the deck, navigating, getting fired on, fixing the rudder, getting underway. But right now, because I want to put your fate in your hands, I'm going to ask Finn Alexander
Yep.
to make a coordination transport roll,
Okay.
and I'm going to give you a plus. Yeah, because of your. Let me do a roll for your first mate here. Tall Jim, your quartermaster is
Okay.
now. Okay, so I'm going to give you a +4 to your roll
Okay.
Wow.
because you've got some able-bodied seamen helping you out here.
Oh, this is a
What
6
is-
and this is a 1.
Thank
Sorry.
you. I was like,
The
what?
combo-
What did that roll?
Bloody
Dalek.
hell.
Right?
TARDIS.
Ah.
A Dalek and a
How do
TARDIS?
you
Yeah.
know?
Welcome to the game.
Welcome to
We're doing
Doctor Who, where we roll
all
Dalek
during
and
last
TARDIS.
session,
Swear
yeah.
these are
All
white
the others
Yeah.
have numbers.
I
It
swear.
was just
So,
one of those
just so you
where it
know,
was
That's a
like,
1,
Uh,
6.
Yeah.
One of our Chivani one of our Twitter followers, and correct me if I'm saying that wrong. But
Chovasani?
Chovasani, thank you,
Right, right,
Chovasani. Yes. So Cho, who does a lot of our great artwork on the
love
fly,
you.
Yes,
Cho
thank
actually
you.
made a joke on Twitter that the dice were weighted because of all the TARDISes and
Daleks.
Daleks that we
Yeah.
roll. And Q Workshop actually chimed in and was like, "No, they are not."
I was about to apologise to him for suggesting
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Does
That's a
my-
hot jacket.
does
I would
my
argue
sense of
that they're
direction come into
sentient,
this?
though.
Sentient dice. What's
Yeah.
that?
Does my sense of direction come into this? I don't know what I'm rolling.
The
right
Time
now.
Lord technology.
I'll give
Yeah,
it to you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. 'cause
Um,
you said I'm
Yeah. I'll give it to you this time because really, it's just this is a matter of like trying to tack into the wind because you're navigating the ship.
Yeah.
We're basically making you. I'm trying to check to see how fast your ship is moving into the wind.
Right.
I'm rolling for them too. So in this case, I'll give you direction
okay.
because you're monitoring the wind. So I'll give it to you. So go ahead and add that in there too. Tell
Okay,
me
so
what you get.
16.
Okay. This is a
Nice.
This is a contested roll. So let's
Oh,
see
wait.
how the captain of the other
I
ship
didn't add
does.
the other 4.
Oh.
I didn't add your Jim's 4.
Oh, then you did.
20.
You did 20. You did quite well. Okay.
Nice.
So now I'm going to roll the rival ship and see if you guys gain some headway. You guys are pulling away pretty quickly.
How
That,
are those cannons coming?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So the crew, you see them. They're basically pulling the cannons off the sides, pulling them out of their ports, and they're wheeling them towards the staircase that goes up to the top of the deck.
Poor crew.
And they're already lashing ropes onto it.
Okay.
But they've caught on to what you're doing,
Yeah.
and it seems like they also want to shoot the hell out of them
Yeah.
as much as they can while they run.
You're so
So that'll be
enthusiastic
it.
about it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready
Yeah.
to kill them.
What's the range on those? I'm doing you now.
No
sorry.
idea.
Captain, there's a bunch of holes in the side of the ship. Can we do anything? Can we get down there and try and plug them up somehow? Is
How
that something we
wonderful you
can
are.
do?
You actually have not gotten a damage report yet.
No, I haven't. There's
There's been-
holes in my ship.
But we saw it firsthand. There's definitely holes in the
Bargle
ship.
points to his nose. Little blue spot, little
Our
burn.
friend here was in the way of one of them. What can we do to help?
Are there things on ships to plug holes?
Yes.
What is that?
There's usually tar. They use lots of
Tar.
tar. There's also all sorts of incredibly clever and ingenious ways that they would plug up holes on ships.
Well, this
Again-
jacket's,
Is there- do I
this
see, like,
jacket's buggered. I can
You have
jump
damage.
on
I'll-
it.
There's
Is there
damage
like a-
control crews on ships.
Yeah,
there are people
yeah.
that fix the holes. Your carpenter is your main person, but you haven't received a damage report
No.
yet. So if you want to get down below,
Do you want to do
Do we have to roll for that? Should we
when
roll for
you'll
that?
have to assess the damage, and then we can
Okay.
roll to see if you
Okay.
can plug it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Captain, let us give you a hand.
Is there a free person around me?
Yeah. Oh, crew members are all over the place. You can shout orders to.
Okay.
You there,
You, you
NPC
skinny
number
one.
12.
All right, take them below deck. Show them how to plug up the holes,
Come on then.
which apparently are in my ship.
Okay, you guys are taken back down below.
Okay.
The three of you get down there, and it's the same scene of chaos. Everyone running about. You see people are still trying to load some of the cannons. It looks like some of these cannons got blasted over. But what you also kind of notice, it's very relevant, that's very apparent now, is you see these kind of just smears of blood on the deck from crew members that were probably dragged away and taken down below. There are holes in the side of the ship. Thankfully, they're way above the waterline, so none of these are immediate threats. You may need to go down another deck level to storage.
The TARDIS down here?
You don't see a TARDIS.
All right.
Would stand out, being that it glows, but you don't see one here. You guys go down one more deck level, and you're starting to appreciate how
Apparently, there's a leak.
when you guys get down below, you're beginning to appreciate how cramped these spaces are for sailors. And when you get down, you see about 2 inches of water on the ground here, and you see a bunch of people rushing. It looks like sailors all over the place, and they're plugging up the hole with these massive, looks like these big sticks that have these huge circular sort of wooden ends on them that are filled with what looks like sort of a cloth almost, but it's jamming. They're jamming these into the holes, and you're seeing they're repairing the holes pretty quickly, and you guys can totally help here.
Yeah.
This is some pretty. You're like, oh yeah, no, I know how to do stuff like this.
Certainly, yes.
Go ahead and if you want to, go ahead and make your craft checks.
Combine it with something or just craft?
It would be for this case, I would say it would be ingenuity in craft, for sure.
So 3.
12.
16.
11.
Okay. Yeah. You guys can help the damage control crews. It looks like the main carpenter is a very large, bald man who sees you and says, "You here to help?"
Absolutely, we
Very
are.
much so.
All right. He starts barking out orders and sailor jargon that unfortunately, the fact that I, as a person in real life, have sailed on a tall ship twice, I don't know enough about damage control to actually give you the authentic experience.
Do you want to spend a story point so you do
No,
have
I
that?
spend a storyteller
Okay.
story point, and I impressed the audience. You were all amazed. And like,
Well done.
holy
yes.
hell! How did Eric know all that? Yeah, you guys get to work. What you do notice is about 10 minutes or so into like helping these crews like hammer together. A few things happen is that you notice that the water, you guys managed to, you see somebody holding what looks like a yard arm. They just hold this big measuring stick. And they're holding it in the center of the boat. And you see it, he shouts out, "It's holding! 3 inches! Holding!" And you hear cheers go up around as you guys continue to mend the thing. And that's at one point as someone's like jamming one of these nails into this planks of wood, turns and looks right at you, Doctor, and is like staring at you, kind of like, "Anybody else notice there's a woman here?"
Here to help. What can I take over whatever he's doing and finish it.
Okay, you
Oh, no,
take
it's
that.
all right. She's the doctor.
You take. He's so stunned to see you that when you take the mallet out of his hand, he's, "You don't know what you're doing. Why is there a woman?" Right. All right.
What's next?
You can help us over here.
Excellent.
He leads you over as you guys continue hammering up this hole and putting tar all over these patch jobs. It takes you about a good 20 minutes. But since you guys aren't hearing cannon fire, you can only guess that things are going well. So, Gina, I need Finn to make another check.
'Kay.
You're in the wind now, so I'm not going to give you the direction bonus, but I'll still give you that +4.
Okay.
So go ahead and make your roll, and it's going to be, your ingenuity and your...
Oh, it's ingenuity?
this time it's going to be ingenuity.
Okay.
So ingenuity and... well, no,
Survival?
I'm going to say coordination. We'll give you coordination on this.
Okay.
Ingenuity.
Just coordination?
Yeah, coordination and transport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what-
15.
15.
And then the 4, so so 19.
Oh, okay, 19.
I'm
you guys,
really good at steering.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
You're great
okay.
at boats.
I'm great at boats.
Yeah, you with your orders shouting out, checking the wind, and with Tall Jim's help, you're continuing to pull away. They've gone from 400 to 500 yards away to now a little over half a mile away, as you guys are continuing to
Is
just
that too
rocket.
far to
through-
shoot them?
What's that?
Is that too far to shoot
Way
them?
too far to shoot them.
Damn it.
But at this point,
Good
I
job
will tell
living.
you that as a precautionary measure,
Yeah.
the crews, they look exhausted.
Yeah.
But you see they've managed to get the cannons up onto the deck now.
Okay.
You just heave, and they just pull the cannons on the ropes right up to the back of the deck, and then they begin to reload the cannon.
okay.
And you see these people just bringing the cannonballs up onto the deck.
Yeah.
These 8-pound cannonballs. Yeah, that's what's going on there. You guys are down below. I'm gonna just to speed things along because by the time you guys are done finishing repairs, we're gonna need one more check. So, Gina, go ahead
Yeah.
and make me one more check as you guys continue to sail as rapidly as possible into the dude.
What? Is that a good dude or a bad dude?
Plus what?
+4, plus your 4.
Oh, okay, so 19 again.
19 again. Okay. Yeah, the Saucy Jack is just too fast.
Yeah.
She's just too fast.
That's
And
my baby.
this frigate managed to catch you guys a bit by surprise, but you notice that they're disappearing off in the distance now. It's been about 4 hours of sailing and repairs and whatnot. And when things finally come to an end, you see the last of the buckets are brought up from overhead and pouring out water.
Yeah.
And Tall Jim looks back and he goes, "Stand down, lads. Stand down." And everyone finally...
Just collapse.
Yeah, you see people climbing down off the ropes. Sailors up on the mainmast are finally sort of leaning against. Yeah, there's finally calm on the ship as everyone. No one cheers.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's happy that they've gone away, but there's no cries of cheer.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
morale is
For
obviously
a moment,
taking a hit.
Bargle starts too, and he's like,
Yeah, everyone just kind of looks at you. You guys are back up on deck. The three of you are. That was some hard work that you guys just did. Spending the next, you guys, like I said, about 3 hours from the moment you arrive have passed, so a total of 4 hours have passed. For those 4 hours, you guys just sort of integrated into the crew. And once they saw that y'all knew what you were doing, people stopped questioning you as you helped save the boat, basically. The Saucy Jack is crashing through the waves right now, just at full speed. Sun is getting low in the sky. As you guys are coming up onto the deck, you see people are already repairing. People are kind of leaning up against the rails, catching their breath. You see a few sailors comforting each other as friends have been lost in the fight. But Tall Jim walks up to you and goes, "The butcher's bill, Captain. 8 dead, 17 wounded. We'll need to stop somewhere to make repairs or we're not going to make it.
All right.
We won't, if they catch up to us, that's when you guys hear the name of the ship that was chasing you. If the Abigail catches up to us again, we're not going to stand a chance. We need to get the drop on them."
Right. Keep taking care of the wounded. What do you do with dead people on a boat?
Yeah, wrap them in a tarp,
Do you
you
wrap
say some
them?
prayers, and you dump them
You
overboard.
dump them overboard, right?
Bury it
All
safe.
right.
Burial
Start
at
tending
sea.
to the dead.
Okay, they start making that. At that point,
Have I heard of the Abigail or the Saucy Jack? This flag doesn't look familiar to me, but I can look it up later, is what you were saying.
you might be able to look it up on the TARDIS databases.
Yeah.
But if you want, since you are a Time Lord and your brain is unfathomably complex and knowledgeable, you can make a an ingenuity knowledge check to see if any of these names pop up in what you know of Earth history.
I would love to do that.
Go ahead.
It's a very doctorly thing for you to do.
15 and 8. 23.
Zootolors.
23. Yes, you've heard of this ship. It's a not very well-known sea story, but the Saucy Jack was a commissioned privateer ship, a pirate hunter, that was commissioned by the British after a Spanish gold fleet went missing off the coast of St. Lucia, near Florida. No one knows why it went missing, but rumors say that a ship helmed by an evil captain, a man by the name of Ambrose, who's captaining a stolen frigate named the
Abigail.
Abigail. Thank you. So many names to keep up with.
That's all
The
right.
Abigail might have been responsible. What you know of Captain Ambrose is that whoever he was so successful in his brief career as a pirate that everyone hated him, including other pirates. Everyone wanted a piece of his loot, so to speak, because of what he was doing, his success rate. Plus, there's a bounty on his head. A very sexy bounty, probably from multiple countries. But you also note that as the Doctor, there's something unusual about how successful the Abigail was. That kind of just stands out to you. You're like, oh yeah, the reason why you remember this story is because of all the pirates. Arguably, the most successful pirate in history on Earth was Captain Morgan. From the sacking of Panama to the fact that he was one of the few pirates that managed to die of old age. Captain Morgan should be the most successful pirate in history, but you do remember that, yeah, the Abigail stands out, and
Could
Captain
have been an
Ambrose
anomaly,
stands out.
that.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me, Doctor, is we were just getting shot at by one of the greatest pirates that ever lived?
A bit, yeah.
Cool.
You're like, this is so much better than Disneyland.
Yeah. This is better than my old life. I'm down for this, yeah.
And you're English, I'd say, yeah?
I am.
Bargle's
I
like,
am
cool.
English.
Yes. There's a bunch of words in those sentences I don't understand, but that's fine. It's a great story.
We're on a planet called Earth.
So-
No one can hear us.
So,
Where are
Captain,
they? Are they
have
just
you
on the
ever
deck
They're a
heard?
few feet away from you.
Okay.
So,
Then we're
Captain-
not having that conversation.
All right.
Maybe a hash
We're on a planet
story.
called Earth, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
As we all know, this
All
is
right.
Earth.
I'm
and-
gonna walk over to you guys while you're
Okay.
discussing your Earth thing.
At your Earth talks.
Can I spend a story point to come up with some kind of cover story for why we would be here?
You have psychic paper.
I do, but what would it say? We had permission to hide in your barrels? Like, we have climbed aboard from a rowboat you can't see? Like,
We have always been.
how does the Doctor do this?
Don't worry, we had permission to hide in your barrels. We've been there for 2 years. We just thought maybe we'd tell you now. We realized we
Like
Started
we needed help.
exploding. We
We're
thought
the
it was
ones
a
who tuck you in at
celebration.
night.
woke up this morning, realized we were a bit thirsty, and we're like, maybe we should come out now.
We're like the disaster what do you call it? We're like the disaster relief.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
We've been waiting in the barrels for 2 years for a disaster.
For this moment.
Yes.
You don't know. I mean, this is welcome to. I mean, welcome to what the doctor has to come up with
Yeah.
every
Invent some
single
shit.
time.
Yes!
Off the top of your
Which is
head.
why the doctor usually just goes, yeah. So if you want, you've got the psychic paper. By the way, I was going to tell you, your sonic screwdriver and your psychic paper both have their very own story points,
Ooh!
which you can use only when you're using those items. So the sonic screwdriver has 2 story points, and the psychic paper has 1 story point. So if it was incredible, you could hold up the psychic paper and spend a story point, and you wouldn't normally have to though. But if you wanted to go wacky with the storyline, you could do that. Sonic
Okay.
screwdriver is like work, 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 spend a story point kind of thing.
Yeah.
But those will let you spend the gadget story points as opposed to your story points when you're using them.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Captain, could we have a word?
I would love that. Shall we go down to my room?
Yeah, it's yours now.
I know.
The captain's quarters
My
belong to you.
captain's quarters.
Yeah, as you guys all go below, you walk into the captain's quarters and you see all manner of pirate paraphernalia all over the place. Pirate
Is it
flags
just
that have
the
been
two of
captured.
them that go, or do we all go?
Do you guys want to go? I assumed you were
No,
all
no,
going.
no.
Yeah,
You're
I'm,
all coming.
I'm-
You're all
I'm
coming with
in,
me.
Okay.
Yes.
Not leaving Bill alone with the sailor.
Oh no, please. No.
It's a pretty small space, but you see captured pirate flags adorning like the ceiling, the walls. They're all torn. You see loot, booty, so to speak, because one of the arrangements is for pirate hunters that they get to keep a percentage of the treasure that they
Now
discover
we're
on pirate.
talking.
Yeah. So you guys are just looking at like old style royals, doubloons, all the whole bit. You're like gold sprawled out onto the desk.
Keep your
I
mitts
am
off of it.
taking some of
Keep
that
your
Oh, no!
back to the 21st century. I will be a very rich
Ixnay
man.
on the,
Baby,
future.
you're a rich.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah.
No! Of course not.
So-
Can I use my resolve
Quite the
and
track record of the-
convince and
the privateer sausage
subterfuge
jack?
to steal some loot?
You wanna try to slide a hand in? So real quick,
Okay.
before we
That's a
continue,
bad idea.
I just want to tip my hat to Sax and the team for supplying us with
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really great.
this cool ass sound effects
Yeah,
and the
it's
backgrounds
awesome.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Also, you can't appreciate it, but I can kind of see in the monitor over there that there was
we look cool?
there was water behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you guys are below decks on the Saucy Jack.
It sounds like the ship sounds got way more intense and they're just rolling something, but for a
Yeah.
minute I was like, wow, it's so realistic.
No, those
You guys see
cannons.
two crew members
Those
preparing
cannons
a show
rolling
called
around.
Brick Battles as they just move past you
Yeah.
guys. You're like,
3:30 p.m. on Twitch.
what the hell?
We'll be performing on the upper deck at, yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm just mournfully looking at this office, which is now mine.
yeah. So your former captain,
Have we heard your name out loud yet?
No, I don't
you've
think
heard Finn's name.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've
they've been
heard Finn's
shouting it.
Quite the record as a privateer, eh? Captain
Yeah, Finn, as you enter
Finn?
these quarters, I'll just say this: as you enter the quarters, the exhaustion finally hits you
Yeah.
as you step in. Like, and plus the men aren't here to see you.
Yeah.
So the exhaustion hits.
So I let my gut out.
You also like. You managed to. You know what? Why don't we make this a roll? And
Okay.
I'll let you use your brave trait for this.
Okay.
But go ahead and make a resolve. I would say just go ahead and make a straight resolve roll with your brave. What'd you get?
Well, that's a 12.
12.
And then plus 2.
So okay, yeah, you did good. You beat my target number. Normal is 12, so you did good.
Nice.
For a split second, it's kind of like that adrenaline wear off.
Yeah.
It's almost the same effect that Duncan would have suffered, but you're a seasoned sailor,
yeah.
so. But there's that moment where you almost want to throw up,
Yeah.
but you're like,
Yeah.
and then for a split second, there's that part of you that's just like, God damn, I love this life.
It's a good rush.
Yeah, you're just kind of.
Shake it off.
And you walk over and you sit in the captain's chair behind that table. Just as you see this old stained teacup slide across the desk from the waves.
I just
You just
grab
kind of
it.
catch it. And the three of these people standing in front of you.
All right.
You're probably wondering how we got here.
Yep.
Captain Finn, was it?
Finn Alexander. Pleasure. Now, who
Nice
are
to meet
you?
Captain? And we didn't want to tell your crew, but psychic paper.
You gonna pull out
What
the psychic paper?
paper?
Okay, you hold up the psychic paper.
What
yeah.
does it say?
Oh my goodness. They are royal privateers. And the doctor, she is straight from, I believe it's His Majesty, whose
Early
name.
1700s.
We don't remember. who
We
the
don't
king
look.
is.
Look, the problem with running Doctor Who is I don't know all of history. There's a lot that goes into game prep.
Sure.
I'm also
Yeah.
worried
King
about
George,
this.
it's
Sure.
safe,
King
right?
George,
There's been
sure.
a bunch
Actually,
of those.
It's early
1750.
1700s, so we've had the Cromwell
Chat,
Revolution. Are we
what
still in
is
the
it?
middle of that? That was 1689,
What?
right?
It might have been.
Was that the Revolution or the Restoration?
Is it Edward? Are we checking?
Yes.
I don't know. I said, what is chat saying? Someone in chat.
Someone shouting it out.
Yeah,
What's the
someone's-
mnemonic from King Ralph?
Yes, dude. Chat. You can be our. You can be.
historic
you can be our
fact
history.
checkers.
You guys can be our vortex. Our
We
our
can't
TARDIS
see
database.
you,
Yeah.
though.
We can't see you, but
We
someone
can't- we
can
don't have
tell us
chat in
because
here.
they're watching.
The crew will tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody was
Not
chiming in
Denise will
just
tell
now.
us.
So yeah. See, what was that? What was it?
We broke Denise.
Denise is dead. Oh, damn.
Oh,
Still
they're
looking.
still
Oh, I
looking.
don't know.
That's fine. There is no Denise, only Zulu.
There is,
Who?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
it said
so
not Denise.
so basically,
Denise.
the
I don't know
psychic
who
paper,
Yeah.
they're legit. They are
Right.
royal privateers. How they got here, you don't know. But as you read the paper, it's an official document stating that these three are servants of the crown.
Blimey.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hand on hips.
Pleasure.
You call me the doctor.
Of what?
A doctor. You've got them in your time.
All
Not
right.
on this ship. You've got, well, you have a doctor, but it's more
Yeah.
like somebody who knows how to stitch things.
Put salt in wound.
Cut
Yeah,
things.
basic bare bones stuff, like medieval style. Not a proper physician.
So,
All right.
Doctor, you were saying the other boat, the Abigail. So, did you know was called the Abigail? Did you know who that was? Are they attacking us for a reason?
Yeah,
or
we've-
what's going on?
King George 1 or
King
2.
George 1 or 2.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks, Englishman.
Thank you.
Good guess.
Yeah.
No, I knew. Of course I did.
We've been after Ambrose for a long time, but he got the drop on us this afternoon.
Yeah.
This is. I guess. This is.
Bargle Bill.
I'm trying to decide whether.
Oh right.
Bill's a
We
perfectly good
probably
pirate
shouldn't,
name, but
oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he can be Bargle Bill on a ship, right?
Yes.
It works.
this is Boglebill and this is Cillian. We're here to assist you.
Hi.
Ambrose and the Abigail, their reputation precedes them.
We're important
Yeah.
representatives at the king.
They're very good at this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why is he blue?
Skin condition. It's from a southern island.
You sound like you're from where I'm from.
And he realizes that
Are
he's
you a
got
Kingsman?
the
Yeah.
translator around his neck. And he's like, yes.
You've travelled a fair bit,
Whereabouts are
haven't
you
you?
from?
I'm from lots of different places, as you tend to get about.
All right.
Okay.
He's a weird one, isn't he?
About that point, there's a knock at the cabin door, and you see Tall Jim comes in and goes,
All right, Jim.
looking at the maps, Captain. It looks like there's an island, probably not 2 to 3 miles southwest of here.
Can we repair there?
I think if we weighed anchor, we could probably make repairs there.
All right. Set sail for.
Tall
Do we
Jim's
have a name for this island?
No, he doesn't have a name for it.
All right.
Tall Jim looks completely exhausted, but he nods to you and heads out. Yeah,
Right.
closes the door behind him. You guys are watching the lanterns kind of sway back and forth. As it, by the way, sun has set by now outside. So, but yeah. Also, at this particular moment, I'm gonna need Amy to make a. I need the doctor to. In a moment, I'm going to need you to make an ingenuity and science. Your sonic screwdriver just suddenly starts going. Zzz, all on its own. Like it's going off like an alarm.
14 and 7, 21.
Wow.
You just kind of look inside. I'm guessing you. Where, are you going to check it
Yeah,
out?
yeah, yeah,
Are you
yeah.
going to pull it out? Okay. So two
One
things.
moment.
You just kind of pull it out. It's unmistakable. She can't really hide it, but you see something is glowing inside of her coat. The sonic screwdriver is going nuts, like it's detecting something, all on its own. Like you're gonna have to pull it out and actually get the readings off of it.
Hold on one moment. I'm just going to turn into the corner and pull the thing out.
You guys see the glow on the ceiling as you pull it out. Yeah, your sonic screwdriver is detecting a time-space distortion on the ship.
Well, that's not good. Where?
Looks like it's probably coming from below, or somewhere off in the. Probably towards the bow.
Like the TARDIS's back, or like a different kind of
It's too
distortion?
vague.
Okay.
I
Captain,
the
if
torch
you'll
that's
excuse
blue.
me, it's a one of a kind. I need to go check something out, if that's all right.
Sure, my ship is at your disposal, I suppose.
Honor to meet you, Captain. I'll be right back.
She just runs out the door.
All right. Should we follow? Do you think we should follow her? We should probably follow her,
Pop
right?
my head back in the door. Come on, then.
Yes.
She might disappear at any minute.
Very
if we don't.
important royalty business. And
Okay.
And in
King-
whispers
King's-
as we
King's
run,
orders,
I'm going
King's
to try to
orders.
fill them in on like what the King's orders document showed her for anything that like Bargle Bill might need some context. We're on his planet, but we're in the past. But she thinks we've been sent by one of the governments here to help her catch pirates.
what's a pirate exactly?
Oh, goodness.
You got a basic idea.
Do
of what
I,
goes
now
on.
that I have my memory back,
What's
side
that?
note, now that I have my memory back, do I recognize his species? Have I met them
Nope.
before? Wow.
Nope, never encountered his race before.
Wow.
So what was your race again? You did say before.
Are they still in the
For
room?
those who missed episode
No,
1,
we're-
Bargle
okay.
Bill is a little chubby blue-skinned alien from a race called the Ukh-Luch.
Right.
No wonder I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
And for those at home, that is
I'm gonna see that
OOH
next week.
apostrophe
You want to write this out at home.
LOO apostrophe H.
Say
Yes.
that again.
Luch.
No,
This is going to be a song now.
I'm sorry.
Luke, say that again.
Do it in out loud. Ook, look, look.
What's that
Like that.
name?
Okay.
All right. As you guys make your way towards the bow of the ship, you notice that
Bow's
the
front, stern is back?
yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are making your way towards the front of the ship. You guys, you don't see anything, but you do get that you're getting closer to it as you make it to the front. Probably below decks is your assumption, since you're not spotting anything.
The screwdriver's picked something up, and we just probably ought to check it out.
Okay.
Certainly.
And
how do we
you
get
know
below
where-
decks?
Do you know where
Yeah,
it
just go
is?
down. So,
Yeah.
heading below decks, Captain, everyone's kind of makes way for you, and a few people, as you're walking down, they go, "Oh, Captain!" They're pointing, and you see crew members have started to gather towards towards the front of the ship, down just below on the gun deck.
Okay.
As you guys kind of muscle through there, you see everyone look at you guys wide-eyed as they kind of spread apart, and you see what looks like a tear in reality.
Ooh.
It looks like a rip.
Like,
And you
that
see
wasn't made
in-
by the
is
Abigail.
this against the? Did you say it's on the wall?
No,
Or
it's
kind of
just
floating in
it's
space?
just in the air.
Ah!
It's just in the air, and it looks like
Disquieting.
it looks like it's just been. It looks like reality has just been ripped like cloth, and it's just kind of. It's stationary. It's not even rocking back and forth with the ship. It's just stationary, but it's moving with the ship. In it, you can see just a swirling black-blue darkness.
All right, what is that thing?
Your sonic screwdriver is immediately telling you that it's a rip in space-time.
Okay.
What is that?
What's the early 18th century word for a scientist? Would I say I'm a naturalist? I'm a
Naturalist.
naturalist? Okay.
Probably be a good one.
I'm a bit of a naturalist, and we've encountered these before, but we'd best stay away from it. If everyone could just clear away from that.
Everyone begins to step
Yeah.
back. They're kind of like taking your word for it. What sort of devilry is
So
this?
what is it really? For those of us from now, not from.
It's a bit of a tear in space-time, and it should not be here. Can I
So-
close that?
It's possible. Go
Do
ahead.
we
and
want to close it?
Bill
That
goes to touch it.
Is this which?
Don't.
Bill!
I wouldn't recommend that.
You stop him from touching it? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Pardon me with the mic. Did I just mess up my mic? I just messed it? Okay, go. The lobs are new. I'm trying
Got
to
an
do this.
instrument I've designed that's good for this sort of thing to explain why my glowy torches.
Okay. All right, so then I'm
So
going
it's the Portuguese made it. They're very good.
so go ahead and make an ingenuity science roll.
Ooh. Rolled a 10. 14 and 10 is 24.
Okay.
You are
Yes,
the doctor.
indeed.
You're a witch, burn her.
It's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Shit.
Burn the witch!
Don't ask questions.
Yes, you can actually get ready because here we go. Reverse the polarity.
Oh, the new travel!
Yeah.
No.
While we're at it, can we hack into the mainframe?
We can hack into the mainframe and reverse the polarity. No, but basically, your sonic screwdriver, you can use this to actually contain the time energies that are ripping this thing apart. It looks like from the readings you get from your sonic, this thing probably wants to heal itself anyway. It looks like reality is trying to reassert itself, as
Can I
reality
tell
always
what's
tries
caused
to do.
it? If something's trying to come through it? If
What
it's
was your roll
planning
again?
to, if it's going to
24?
24. If it's going
24?
to expand and destroy the ship, like what's?
Your instinct tells you the cause of this may have been you.
Oh, great.
In fact, very likely the events that brought you all here, this might be a symptom of that whole freezing Gallifrey in a moment of time. It's possible that you may have opened wounds across all of the realities.
Now, an interesting thing about this that I forgot to ask you about is that as I regained my memory of being the Doctor, part of the story is that I should lose the memory of the events.
That happened after?
Well, like the whole part of the deal with that is that because those events should have been time locked, but I was with other versions of the Doctor, like I would forget that all that happened.
Yes, you should.
I don't know how quickly, and I know that we've gotten readings from the TARDIS that say that everything is wrong, but I'm still not sure if I know what Amy knows.
Everything you just said is completely true, and yet you remember it.
That's
You should have forgotten it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't remember what happened. You should probably not be privy. Here's the other thing that's boggling your mind. For the TARDISes to have successfully locked Gallifrey in that moment of time, the other regenerations of the Doctor that follow you had to have been there. If you were here, what happened to them? There's all sorts of paradoxes that are opening up in your head right now.
I'm sort of
Because-
wandering around muttering to myself on deck right now.
Because this is giving you a really good glimpse of how wrong and messed up the whole thing is. You shouldn't be here. You
Nothing's
shouldn't be.
working right.
You shouldn't have regenerated.
And
Like
that's-
you guys are in
We
an
shouldn't
alternate
randomly be
reality.
here. I don't even know how to get. So, but I have figured out we are in an alternate reality.
You are definitely
we should
in an
not
alternate reality,
Okay.
another universe.
Be. Yeah.
Which you've had connections with before, so you're very aware of how difficult it is to. It's the TARDIS should not be able to enter into another universe.
And I will not have told you yet that it might be quite difficult to ever bring you home.
There is an Earth here, undoubtedly, since you
Yeah.
guys are on it. If it exists in your time period, who knows? If it's the same Earth that you left, who knows? There could be another you running around out there.
Oh, I hope not.
So yeah, but on the other hand, this universe has followed its own timeline, so there may not be another you here at all. It's hard to say. This is where you get into some metaphysics and where you get into Schrodinger's and like the whole bit.
In the
The
meantime,
parallel universes, alternate realities,
no idea what the current status of Gallifrey is.
none.
And
But this is a window.
there's some.
You could technically try to use this to scan the other side, to find out what this links to. With that roll, I can
Yeah.
tell you that it's possible. But you don't know if it's possible to re-enter. You don't know what the side effects would be if you did, especially without a TARDIS. You did. The other thing in the back of your head, too, I would say keep in mind, Doctor, is that you regenerated. You're not sure whatever happened was enough to cause your body to die and need to regenerate. So something happened to you. There's still no explaining why the hell these guys ended up in your TARDIS.
Yep.
There's a lot of questions.
I have a lot of questions.
And a lot of them run completely contrary to what you know about time and space.
Yes.
But then you did pull off something pretty
That should
extraordinary.
have worked, and none of this should be happening. But here we are. How much danger are we in from this tear right now? Like, is it about to expand and eat the ship?
You don't think it. Well, the thing is it looks like it's trying to heal itself, which means
Okay.
it'll probably close itself up in no time.
Well, then I'd like to get all the information I can out of it before that happens.
Okay, so you start scanning it for data.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are watching as she's using this miraculous device. It's just bzzz, this sort of. We'll use Capaldi's. As you're just sort of scanning this thing.
But mine looks different. You can see the picture. Matt also
Yes.
designed it. It's got like a cool Art Deco sort of thing to it.
Yeah. As you're scanning this thing, when the Sonic begins to finish its collection of data, you see that it's going to take a while for the Sonic to process the data. You'll probably have to plug the Sonic into the TARDIS to process the enormous amount of data you just got from the time rip that you've scanned. And that's above deck. You hear "Land ho!"
But the Rift is traveling with us, yeah?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's not like the ship isn't like because it's not moving towards the back of the ship as you guys are moving forward. It's stuck here.
Yeah.
It's not rocking, so it's not behaving completely in tandem with physics right now. It is just a rip. It looks like it's a moment. Like if a moment in time, if a piece of a moment in time could die, this is what it would look like.
Like a dead pixel on a TV screen, but for space time.
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh.
And so, but as it's healing, it's like reality is reasserting itself. So as you guys are watching, as she is scanning this thing, you're watching this thing miraculously begin to close, and there's ripples around it. It's almost like reality is just repairing itself.
Because I'm a reckless moron, is to throw something in there.
If I remember correctly, there's at least one of you with the insatiable curiosity flaw.
Well, I tried to touch it and they stopped me.
I was gonna say, since you were the
You
one
both
trying
have
to
it,
do
you
that,
both have
maybe
it.
you should
Oh,
go for
you
it.
have insatiable curiosity as well, Duncan.
Yeah, I do, but he was
My
already
insatiable
going.
curiosity
Let's look this up real quick,
Okay.
because if I remember correctly,
I
this is-
love that that's a tree. I love that that's a tree.
don't blow up my
I
ship.
don't know, but I definitely did wanna
Insatiable
touch it. If you wanna throw
curiosity.
something in.
Oh my
Yeah.
I do. I like the idea that my
Every
character
companion
is-
should
I'm a
have
bit
insatiable
distracted.
curiosity.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Did you know that the most quoted thing the Doctor has ever said in every incarnation is "Don't wander off"?
I tried to work it in last week.
Did you?
Even though we didn't know who I was yet.
I looked this up on the Doctor Who wiki, and apparently it's the #1 phrase the
Don't
Doctor
wander
utters.
off.
Don't wander off.
And don't stick your hand in time rips.
Yeah, please don't do that.
I've stopped that, but I'm very
leave that to
distracted. I
throw
might not catch
something.
it if you try to throw something.
Yeah, exactly. I know it'd be funny if you just tried to toss something through it.
Yeah, what are you talking
If only you had a fez.
Whatever I find on the ground, maybe just a
You're
chunk
throwing
of
things
shrapnel.
from my own ship.
Here we
Maybe
go.
just a chunk of shrapnel. Yeah, I think
Oh,
I think
boy.
that sounds
Touching
like
touches,
fun.
a chunk of shrapnel. There's plenty of
Whatever
that
you
laying
just
around.
stole from the captain's quarters.
No, that's fine.
I ended up not doing
I'm
that.
so
To throw
glad.
some-
Yeah, I really
You would've
want
immediately
to
been
because I kind of
I
want.
would've
Who
made
just
you.
stabbed my
Exactly.
companion?
Time
No,
to
I
walk
would
the
have
plank.
done the whole shebang and made you walk the plank or something.
I kind of want this guy to be like a bit of a wild card.
The character has a
somebody
thirst
a
for
bit
knowing what's going on and
unpredictable.
investigating, even when it may not be a good idea for them to do so.
Yeah, there you go.
What was that down that hole? Where does that corridor go? What are those aliens up to? In many cases, insatiable curiosity
Yeah.
has been the cause of many adventures, and especially in
That's why-
Clara's case.
That's why we
I'm a
ripped
bit surprised
the
I don't
enable
have
out
it.
of the ceiling.
Exactly.
I know. Why don't you
So
have
you
it?
Because I
both,
have 18
Why
other
Rokugan's
Both
traits.
of you.
dead.
both of you must make an ingenuity plus resolve roll at -2.
-2.
Yes, you
Wait,
really want to see what
ingenuity
this
and
thing is.
resolve? Those are two attributes.
Yeah,
All right.
ingenuity and resolve -2.
On
13.
-2?
11.
Okay. Bargle, you're like, I'm gonna follow the Doctor's
Yeah.
go in this. Yeah, Cillian, maybe when no one's looking, you can toss something through it and see what happens. There's a moment where the
While I'm muttering.
if you want, I'll let you. If you want to make a roll.
Oh, do.
Yeah, I want to see where this goes.
Okay.
Oh, come on. 8.
8.
Blow up
That's
my
gonna
ship.
go very badly, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're just
What did
looking
you
around.
throw?
You're like.
Yeah, what did you
Oh
throw?
man, I should throw something into this.
I
And you
should
kinda-
totally throw something.
You see a
in there
little.
while I
Looks
can.
like a little. You see a crate to your left, and it's filled with what looks like row and row and row after burlap pouches, little bitty burlap pouches.
He knows what's in
Mike
there.
immediately
Michael
knows.
what it is. Yeah.
You go, that'll do. Pick it up. Doctor's talking. Doctor's turning and giving you an explanation. You just. Congratulations. You're the first human in history to toss a pouch of black gunpowder into a rip in space-time.
I mean, would you not?
Humans! Oh my goodness.
Do we see him do this?
Yes. Just after it leaves
Oh,
his
dear.
hand, you just watch it. You see this pouch just go into the hole, just disappear.
Cillian,
What?
I don't know.
I would recommend not doing that.
I just
Seize
couldn't,
them
I
now!
couldn't resist.
Oh,
Are
great.
you gonna order them to see?
Yes!
Oh, the.
You don't even know what that is.
People grab you by the shoulder.
You
They're
just
looking at
threw gunpowder into a magic hole in my ship.
Yes, I would
fair
recommend
enough.
not doing that again. Captain, it's all right. He won't do it again.
Seize him!
They've got him.
Okay.
The sailors are kind of looking at
Cracking
you.
in irons.
Take him to the brig.
They start dragging. They drag Cillian off.
Excuse
They're
me.
dragging
I'm
him
not-
back.
Oh well.
That's what he says as they're dragging him. Pretty cool though.
Been there before.
I'm going to
Yeah.
need my colleague back, please.
He's staying in the brig until I figure out what he did.
I promise it won't hurt us.
I
know that. I feel like it'll just go through to some other
So-
place, and they have some issues.
I promise it won't hurt us. And when she says that, you see a pouch hit her in the side of the head and fall to the deck. And the two of you everyone looks at the hole. The hole is just slowly closing on itself. But you look down and see there's a black pouch. There's a pouch of black powder.
I'm already in the brig.
You've
right?
been dragged off the deck, yeah, from down below.
Is that the
Right.
same one? And did something throw something back at us?
Is it full of weird energy?
It is, yes.
It's not like about to explode, though. I'm
No,
guessing.
when you
Not
scan it-
incendiary.
when you scan it, your instinct is the powder inside's probably dead. It's probably been corrupted somehow from age, from the looks of it.
Huh.
Whoa. That's cool.
In fact,
Very interesting.
as you're scanning it, you watch the burlap around it suddenly begin to rot and warp and then rot away, and you just see what looks like crusted black powder that's sort of, from the looks of it, it looks like this black powder, this little pile of black powder, has probably been around for the past 300 to 400 years.
Wow.
Just from
Throw
looking
that
at it.
cursed thing overboard.
I'm not touching it.
That's an order.
Oh,
Poke, poke, poke.
Oh, no,
you just reach down and pick it up.
Collect
Oh,
it. Yeah,
goodness.
collect it.
Yeah, it's
I do
it's
meet the best people.
it's inert. Like this
Yeah.
powder would never ignite now.
Yeah,
looks
he
like
just-
it's-
he walks over to the edge of the ship and it's just all like,
Well, you see, yeah. Well, you guys are below deck, but there is
below
that.
deck.
You get, there is that hole though. So
Yeah.
you just kind of walk over and toss it out.
Yeah.
The hole. Okay.
Study it.
I
You
think
hear this voice in your head. Keep it.
It belongs in a museum.
If only Mercer was here to just run in and be like, black powder. What? So yeah. And there you have it.
right.
Gone
Let's
now.
not throw things in the hole, shall we?
Great.
Duncan, you
Except
are staring
for me,
at
of course.
this. Duncan, the brig, Cillian, the brig that you've been placed in. This is the brig on a privateer, so it's probably about 5 feet wide, 3 feet across. Like it's enough room to stand up and sit down, but they close this door with bars on it and lock it. And one of the guy goes, "Sorry, mate. Do what the captain says."
Oh, this is cozy.
Yep. Back to you guys.
So, we'll all agree to just leave this alone.
Is that what we're doing?
I think I've studied these unusual weather phenomena, and it is my recommendation.
Weather? You expect me to believe that was a weather?
I've seen weirder things.
Well, I haven't.
Well, then perhaps you have to listen to me on this
Another
one.
bag of powder comes through the hole,
Oh,
falls onto the deck.
well, that is interesting. Scared.
This one's might be the same one you threw in.
Might be.
Yeah.
Same age? Has it aged the way the last one had?
The data that the sonic screwdriver is collecting, the sonic seems to identify it as from this universe. But the data that it's processing doesn't show you how or why you would know that. So it looks like it's still trying to collect all the information.
Did the last one also say it was from this universe?
No, the last one didn't give you this reading at all.
Can you explain that? Is that just a bit of rain or thunder coming through?
Another pouch
More unusual than that.
falls through.
Scan. Hold on. If we could just maybe clear the room here for a bit.
Yeah. I still have a bunch of crew just hanging
Everyone is
around,
gathered
right?
around.
Yeah.
Like someone called out land ho above like
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, and
Yeah, no one.
no one cared. Everyone's staring at this and listening to you.
Yeah.
Is anyone watching me? In
All
the
right,
room?
scallywags.
Sweet.
You've got a Phillips screwdriver on you.
That's what I was doing.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and make a roll. So this is going to be an ingenuity. This will be a technology roll.
I just shout to the
Ingenuity and
general
technology.
No, you know what? Let's make this a coordination technology.
Okay.
crew. You breaking out of my break?
Tell me what you get.
I love that I'm not there to tell him,
I
like,
know.
don't do that, please.
Um, 15.
15.
Yeah.
Oh. This lock, like it's a solid lock, but oh man, these mechanisms are so archaic.
And let's be honest here, I'm a bit of a shifty
Yeah.
looking guy. I've
Yeah.
probably broken a few locks before.
You
in
kind of
my
look down
time.
into this thing. And you're like, oh yeah. You just got it. It's deadlocked on the other side. So you managed to pop the lock to the door. You'll need to try to get to the lock on the other side, which is going to be a little bit of a tricky one.
Okay.
Yeah, but the door lock so it's double locked basically. So the door lock, you hear it click, pop. You
And
kind of
now
look
I've
up.
got to reach around and try it from the other side.
Yeah, you're basically going to have to stick your hands sort of through the bars here of
So
this
am I
door.
rolling again? for that
You will
one?
in a second.
Okay.
Right
to the
now,
doctor.
the doctor, Bargle Bill, and Finn are all staring as a fifth pouch is at this point popped through the hole.
All right.
They
All you scallywags.
What's that?
All the scallywags.
Yeah.
We have land. Go do your jobs.
The few of them begin to sort of back away. Like there's a murmur of just like, what the hell? Like everyone's so just
Yep,
weirded out by what they're saying.
magic.
Okay, but they do what the captain says, and they
Good.
all start like filtering out and
I
going
want
up
us to, like-
topside.
Run on land.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone just smashes into the island.
That's what happened to the ship. It just ran aground for
That
some
was our
reason.
Doctor Who game. Thank you for watching. So yeah. So they all head up topside.
Is it going to keep doing that?
Can't rule it out. Give me a moment alone with it if you would.
And Bill is kind of just taking up residence, sitting on the deck, just watching.
Oh,
Are you gonna go up topside?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
he's
so
with them, right?
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, you were with them.
Yeah.
So when you told everybody to go up on deck, Bargle
He
Bill
was
was just
like,
like, yeah, all right. Goes up on deck. Yeah, as this thing continues to seal itself, you just the bags eventually stop, but all in total, 7 little black powder bags falling out. Only one of them seems to be the one that you tossed in.
That second one?
Yeah, the second one.
What am I getting from the others?
They don't read at all.
Are
They're
they
reading,
old?
huh?
Are they old like that first one?
They
or-
all have different age signatures. Some of them look like they're days old. Some of them look like they're months old. Some of them are just like, none of them are as old as the first one that came back, but they're all varying in age.
Is there a pattern? Have they been getting more recent as they go, or is it just random?
No, it's completely random. Completely effing random.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
If you don't mind, I'd like to stay and watch. This is the coolest thing I've seen in a while.
It's healing much more rapidly now. You're watching it just, you can actually see the edges of this thing finally closing up.
Have I got any more information from my Sonic from my earlier scans? I'm still
Only
waiting on
that the only information you get is that there was a disruption when the first bag was tossed through.
Yeah.
Probably slowed down the healing process.
So if we wanted to keep it open, we could throw more things in it. But they would
Yes.
probably end up crazy duplicating.
Which might be what's happening on the other side of this thing, you don't know. But when another bag passes through, it continuously slows down the healing. When the bags have started to stop, though, because the hole has gotten small enough where you can't just toss a bag through it anymore, these pouches, when they stopped, the healing began to accelerate again, and now it's back to normal. Yep.
I'm not sure if I want this thing to stay open or go away.
Yeah, you don't know.
but it was caused by whatever we did.
Yep.
Help! I don't know what to do.
I'm curious.
What do I do? What do I do?
I'm really curious.
So
I
there is
wanna
a story
go in
point
that
method.
hole.
If the player doesn't know what to do, you can literally burn a story point for inspiration.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm stumped. The
Okay.
game master gives you a subtle course and
Yeah.
kind of goes nudges you in the right direction.
Spend the story points.
Sorry, guys.
No.
No.
How
None
dare
of-
you not know what to
How?
do with
I-
this?
So it turns out
Unbelievable.
Amy's not an actual Time Lord and doesn't have two hearts and a brain with knowledge that could destroy a human's brain. So you don't have enough data right now.
Yeah.
It looks like you're just going to have to figure out what the TARDIS has to say about this. This thing is going to heal unless you continue to try to... just from your personality type, you are kind of looking at this as like a wound in space-time. And so wounds by definition is probably a good thing that they heal.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's hard to say, but it's theoretically possible that this might be a way back. Maybe not this one, but the other thing too is that this may not be the only one.
Yeah.
There might be others.
If I can
'Cause
sense
if
that
it's
it's
here-
connected to us.
Yeah. And it might have something to do with why the TARDIS decided to materialize on a ship in the 1700s
Yeah.
on Earth. So, because there is a harmonic that you're picking up on the sonic screwdriver that coincides with you, essentially, and the sonic screwdriver itself.
Do I get the sense that if I keep it open, I will be able to learn more from it, or that I've pretty much gotten everything out of this scan that I can, and I just need to look for larger patterns?
Probably the most you're going to get out of this one. You
Okay.
probably need to see others in another environment to see,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? To collect more data. You need more
My
samples.
general impulse is like, the
Yeah.
rift shouldn't be here, it's dangerous that it's open, and
Yes.
I'm okay with it closing.
Because the chances are there's going to be more.
Yeah.
That's your instinct.
It's not a great thing that there's going to be more, but I'm not sure it's a good idea to keep intentionally prolonging this one being here.
Exactly.
On this
The impression you're kind of getting from what you've seen so far is that if this is not an isolated event, then probably what happened is much like an iceberg hitting the hull of a ship. It probably made punctures all the way
Yeah.
down. This is a really good chance that this is just one of many.
Yeah.
But you also know that the TARDIS has been known to pull the Doctor where she needs to go. So,
I think this one's about closed, but there we may run into more atmospheric phenomena like this. So if you could just tell your crew to keep an eye out and stay away from any similar events, I think we'll
There's going to
be...
be more of these.
It's a distinct possibility.
Bloody hell.
at that point, tall Jim comes down the stairs and says, Captain, we're going to need you up above deck.
Right, I'm coming.
Shall we?
How close are we?
We're here. We just weighed anchor.
All right.
When do we get to go on land?
Uh,
Do we go on land?
well, that'll be up to you guys.
Yeah, I mean.
Um,
Meanwhile, can I make my other
Yes,
roll
you
for
may.
the other door? Come on. What? It was ingenuity and
it's coordination, I believe. That's
coordination
coordination
and-
and technology.
tech. Okay.
Or I'll let you use craft too, if that's higher.
16.
Click.
And I'm out.
Excellent. Go ahead and get a story point.
A story point.
Yeah.
That's pretty satisfying.
I'm going to give
Cool.
you a story point, not
Yeah.
just for that, but because of the whole scene of you tossing black powder into a rip in space time. I cannot wait to the crap you're going to get into.
Neither
you
can
and Mike
I.
both, yeah.
I'm trying to mess this thing up, man.
You guys, so this is the scene. The two of you get up on deck, and there's this beautiful tropical island out in front of you. It's nighttime, so you're seeing the stars, but you know when the sun comes up, you're in a very nice place. Lots of trees on this island, which is good. Very good for repairing a ship. What you also notice is the crew is tossed over the anchor, and you guys are in the shallow waters now. The other thing you spot too is you're all up on the deck just kind of looking around. And this was an episode of Doctor Who. I'd picture the camera panning And everyone's just kind of like, wow, this is nice. And it just sort of pans down to the last person, which of course is Cillian, who's standing next to all of you when he should be in the brig, just looking around going,
Yeah, seems all right.
everyone notices that Cillian is standing next to you guys. You're kind of looking around.
Hi, everyone.
How did you get out?
Magic.
Can you do magic?
Well,
He's
we
joking.
all can,
He's-
clearly.
Right.
We've had rifts in space-time. She's got a magic wand. Of course we can.
Tall Jim approaches you guys at this point and says, the crew's ready to make camp on the beach, Captain. We can start repairs in the morning. We could use the morning, if you like, to go looking for suitable trees.
All right. Do we still have the dead on the ship?
No, Captain, we gave them the barrel as quickly as we could. I recommend we leave someone in the crow's nest to keep a lookout in case the Abigail tries to catch us at
All right, find
dock.
whoever the least tired.
Another crewman pipes up and says, Captain, in the morning, with your permission, once repairs are underway, if we could send a few to scout the island, maybe there's some animals here we could get for food.
It's a good idea.
So she's doing her captain thing. And you guys, yes, isn't that great? You just,
Yeah. It's peaceful.
welcome to Doctor Who.
On a tropical
Today.
island.
Yeah, you see the Beach Boys playing? All right. So longboat's away. You guys are anchored about 100 yards offshore. So it's pretty shallow waters for you guys. But coming up, it's a very beautiful tropical island. You can see the full... That's the other thing. Duncan, Cillian is not used to seeing the world like this.
Right.
No pollution, clear night sky. You can see every star is out, the Milky Way above, the crashing of the gentle slapping of the waves on the beach down below. It's another moment where you're like, I can't believe it.
I'm literally marooned on a desert island.
Yes. Yes. After chasing your childhood fantasies are coming
Dream
true
come
right
true.
now.
Got to
What's
break
that
out
great-
of the
Cillian,
cell.
maybe don't antagonize
Yeah.
the pirate captain.
Yeah, I can't really do magic. I'm just not going to tell you how I got out of your brig.
I mean, people pick locks back then.
Yeah.
It's true.
I assumed you picked the lock.
But you guys
Cillian
don't,
was very dedicated to the service of the king.
I just
and
don't want you to
was
see
going
my
to get you
screwdriver.
out. Yeah.
I will say this, because you guys are used to capturing pirates, you double lock the brig. So
Yep.
it's pretty unusual for somebody to get out of that.
It's unusual, but he also works for the king.
It's true. It's
And
true.
he was
You
able to
probably-
fix the rudder. He's extremely good with tools,
what he
which is
does.
why he's in the service of the king. And I do apologize. We will respect your captaincy. We are very pleased to be here, but we do need him a bit.
Yeah, all right, but no funny business.
All right.
I'll keep
I
my
can
eye on
agree
him,
to that.
Captain. Tall Jim says, I'll keep my eye on him, Captain.
Bargle just kind of nods knowingly to everybody because that seems like what's going on right now.
So what proceeds then is a night where a campfire started on the beach and the crew is finally able to unwind. Grog is passed out. And I don't
I believe
mean
you were promised ale.
Grog
No,
is
I
literally...
believe I was.
I just want to say, I don't mean that Grog is literally here and
He's unconscious
sleeping
on the beach, in 1710
The drink.
Earth.
Have you
Yes.
Grog
on the island?
is being passed out to everybody.
What are you doing on my island?
Yeah, exactly.
Crossover.
So you guys, drinks are passed out. The crew is actually able to unwind before the hard day's work. They sort of bleed off the stress and anxiety of being nearly killed earlier that afternoon. Everyone sort of
Bargle-
celebrates that
Sorry,
they
Bargle
escaped.
loves the grog and almost immediately passes out.
Okay, no alcohol tolerance? Yeah. Okay, he can't hold his liquor. Yeah, so...
He's a bit of a lightweight, isn't he?
Cillian, now that you've had grog from the 1700s, you can finally say that you've had something more disgusting than American domestic beer. There's just immediate, just
Well, when in Rome.
one in Rome. The other men seem to like it.
This actually isn't Rome, although we might go there.
Frustratingly enough, Amy, a lot of the men don't immediately pass you any drink. Yes,
Sign
we
of the
will be dealing.
times.
We will be dealing with archaic themes in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That just
the
wants to
doctor
happen.
perhaps
What's happened?
Do I
stumble
see this?
upon
Yeah.
buried?
No, you just noticed that no one has offered any to the
Yeah,
doctor.
It's a bit
I-
too much.
I grab a flagon of gore.
You snatch it out of somebody's hand as they're
Yeah.
passing it. The guy just stops and looks at you, Captain.
And I walk over
The whole crew watches you.
Yeah.
As you
And
walk over.
I thrust it in your hand.
Well, thank you, Captain.
Drink
To the
up,
crew
lass.
of the Saucy Jack.
Aye.
To the crew of the Saucy Jack.
To the
and you see
Saucy
everyone
Jack.
just, to the crew of the Saucy Jack. Everyone, to the new captain, and everyone just like raises their mug to you. Everyone's drunk enough that they actually turn anxiety and sadness into celebration. And you guys, there's a bit of a party.
To the lake, Captain.
Bit party, yeah. Sunrise. You guys wake up in hammocks that have been stretched up across the trees that are up on the beach. Cillian, as you're kind of waking up, there's a part of you that's like, please let me open my eyes and still be in the parking lot of the pub. And as your eyes open, you see what looks like a chubby, short blue alien investigating a sea turtle that's trying to make its way out into the surf. You've never seen a life form like this. It seems completely inept to be walking on land. These fins are clearly not designed, and yet there it goes.
It carries its house on its back.
Doctor, you're waking up as well. It was a nice night's sleep. It's been a while since you slept in a hammock. Maybe you should get one of these on the TARDIS.
I like this.
The crew has already picked up, and the groups have been designated to go for food,
All right.
water, and looking for wood.
Okay.
Good wood for the ship repairs and whatnot. So everything is underway. As everybody's sort of setting off to do their one thing in the morning. Do we want to take? No, it's already 2:06. I don't think we're going to do this. We're going to skip the break today. I think.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that cool
I'm
with you
good.
guys?
Yeah.
We usually do a 5-minute break. I cannot believe I've gotten through this episode without coffee.
What's up, Amy?
I might be back in like
If there's
90
a
seconds.
if there's a dip, oh, okay.
I'm
The doctor
so
decides
sorry.
to go find a bush.
Yes.
Here.
Divert.
Commercial
A
break.
90-second.
What would we be looking for right now? Would we just help the crew,
Should I lead
or
it?
are we trying to find the TARDIS? And is there anything the Doctor?
You guys can head back to
actually
the
do?
ship to see if the TARDIS has come back if you want.
Yeah. I think we should wait for the Doctor to come
Sure.
back.
I hope
Since-
Amy remembers to mute her lav.
Oh. It's muted.
excellent.
How do you do that?
We've
is
all
it
seen
just
the
a
Naked
They'll
Gun
do it.
movies,
Is it
right?
just
But there was
on
a
the-
scramble the first episode.
Oh, yeah,
Here's a
yeah.
funny behind the scenes story. In the last episode, I didn't know if the lavs were muted or not, so I had to race into the bathroom after Darren and Duncan like, guys,
Yeah.
make sure to cover your mics. That would have been a whole interesting episode.
Yeah.
All right. Should I'll lead a team to fetch
Sure.
some food.
Okay, cool.
Captain,
hunting?
May I come with you? God, my accent's all over the place today.
It's really hard with many accents.
all right.
Yes, it's okay. But what I do is I just look at Duncan, and if he's not cringing outright, then I'm still on track.
He's learned to repress it, I have a feeling.
I'm not
ignores
cringing
it.
for the sake of the show.
Oh no!
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for not cringing.
No,
this is a
really,
no
really,
cringe.
it's not that bad.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, good. All right. So why don't we do this? We're going to do sort of a time lapse rolls here, since there's going to be a lot of extended actions. You guys are going to get on a boat and head back to the ship to check to see if the TARDIS has
Except
decided
him.
to pop
He's
back
coming
in.
with me.
Yeah.
Except you. You're going to
Yeah.
go with him.
Oh, I
We're
totally
going
want to explore
hunting.
the island.
Okay, cool. This is a gorgeous tropical island. Duncan's like, yeah. So a few of the men, you ask them to take you back over. They want the captain's permission to do that. They need to trade off the watch anyway,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's
yeah.
going to be somebody on watch.
Yeah, that's.
But I don't want to go back without the Doctor, because if we get there and the police box is there, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't.
It's true.
All right. Do you want to come hunting with us?
Yeah, I suppose we might as well, but
Could use a favour of extra hands.
Sure.
I think I might be better equipped to help the crew that's chopping the wood to repair the ship.
wanna do that?
though.
All right, then do
I
that.
want to do that, yeah.
If nothing else, he is making himself useful, despite the fact
Yeah.
that he's technically an escaped prisoner.
Yep. I
all right.
send Jim with me.
And a bit of an idiot.
So
Sorry, what did I miss?
Send Jim with him.
okay, so
to go
so
now.
Doctor, what has happened is that so Tall Jim is going to go with you to cut down wood, and then you're going to follow doing some hunting.
Yes.
And the Doctor, so they're going to go off into the jungles here of this little tropical island to look for wood and food. They're going to chop wood. They're going to look for food, and there was a suggestion of maybe going back to see if the TARDIS has arrived back on the ship yet.
Ah, that does seem like a good idea. What is the captain doing?
I'm hunting with the blue lad.
Leading the charge.
And she's chopped
Okay.
wood.
All right, so these
Or
are going to
you
be
could steal
extended
one to go
actions.
to them.
Okay.
So I'll just need to. So we're going to do survival checks here.
Okay.
Do you have a survival rating? Out of curiosity,
Kinda.
what is it?
1.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'll give
same.
you. Okay, so you
I
both.
might actually. I want to check on the TARDIS, but my sort of first priority is to get
Sure.
some time with the captain.
Okay. You're gonna go with them.
If
Okay.
that's all right.
Yeah.
If
Sure.
you want to.
Fame with me, the more the merrier.
It's an RPG. Do whatever you want. Yeah.
Well, that's what they say where we're from, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So
Very
then I'll need.
convincing.
What we will need is I'm gonna say an awareness plus survival.
Okay.
Both of us?
No, it's gonna be from her, but I'm gonna give you a +2 to it.
I have 13.
13.
And then you said +2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is wild boar on this
Yeah.
island.
Have
Let's
a
go
zine.
So
boar
you-
hunting.
But it is going to take a while.
Damn it.
Is it the island from Lord of the Flies?
I hope not.
Yes.
Okay.
You see a bunch of children holding a rock over your head.
Sucks to your ass, Mar.
Anyway, yeah, there's wild boar on this island, which isn't unusual because you guys, first of all, you're in the Caribbean, and you're not that far from Florida, and that's been, I mean, the invasive species that were introduced to the Caribbean because of all the sailing went down here, it's not unusual to find things that should not belong on these tropical islands, So yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are going to be doing that. So this is going to be an extended roll. So we're going to say a few hours are going to pass.
Okay.
Because you did pretty good on the roll. Your crew, actually, you guys managed to hunt down and kill yourself some wild boar and bring that back to the ship. It's not much food, but it's you guys can turn it into jerky and give it some time, and that'll definitely help out there.
Yeah.
The doctor, you've been familiar with some ritual hunts like this before. You're never particularly happy to see an animal get butchered, but you don't judge history. You just walk through it. So,
Yeah.
We need to eat on the ship.
yes, indeed. Your supplies are okay, but the thing is this is going to be a morale booster for sure.
Yeah.
And so while
My
this-
major goal in coming was to just sort of spend a little bit of time with you, and if possible,
Sure.
sort of engage you in like, oh, you're the captain now. Tell us, like, how long have you been at sea? Like,
So while you guys are talking, I want you to have the conversation, but
Yeah.
before you guys get into it, Amy, I want you to make an awareness. I'm going to say an awareness ingenuity roll, and I'm going to need you to make a presence subterfuge roll.
Okay.
all right.
Someone hand me dice, please.
Tell me what you guys get.
I'm just gonna let you borrow, but you have some.
What did you say?
It's an awareness subterfuge. Or with you, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Gina. With you,
subterfuge
it's presence subterfuge.
Presents. Okay.
18.
8. Okay, you need an 18 or better.
12.
Nope.
Only 12.
Okay. So as you guys are walking through the jungles having this talk, at one point the two of you sort of get up ahead of the party, and Finn is chopping through the bush, and
Blasted.
yeah,
Twigs and-
as you're chopping through the bush and you're hearing Finn cusses, she is cutting through some of the bushes. It takes you a moment, but you're watching and you're like, something's occurring to you about her. She's chopped down one of the branches to get it out of the way. You kind of notice that the doctor has gotten quiet, so you just kind of flex your muscle for a little bit, rub your arm, and look back and see that she's staring at you rather peculiarly.
Captain Mem.
What?
You know, I noticed you were very generous with the grog last night. You don't seem to have the same attitudes about women as some of your crew.
It's a lot of bollocks, isn't it?
Oh, come on.
What?
How have you made it so far?
I
won't tell a soul.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't know what that was.
I think we both know what I'm talking about. You're a pirate captain. You're a woman pirate captain.
Yeah, all
That's
right, just
extraordinary.
Keep your voice down, all right?
It's only Bill.
What?
He's extremely understanding. He is.
Just a few feet away, Bill is just kind of
No, he's not paying
Watching
attention
a
at all.
butterfly.
like, wow, the life on this planet is so bizarre. It's just Bill. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Didn't occur to me. I was
And,
like,
and to
oh, right, he
clarify,
doesn't have
Bill's not
human gender
stupid. He's
presence.
just really curious about everything.
There's a lot of new information.
Yeah.
You're
for you.
Wally at this point.
I'm
like,
totally Wally.
"Whoa."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise you, you can absolutely trust me on this. But you are extraordinary.
Yeah, all right.
I'll take it.
I tell you, it's not easy.
And your name is Finn.
No. Finn's my brother. The name's Maggie.
Maggie, I'm the doctor.
It's nice to meet you for real, I guess.
No, you ought to be a legend.
No, see, I mean, as long as no one finds out I'm still alive, so can't really be a legend if no one knows who I am.
What happened to your brother?
Oh no, he's fine. I just needed a boy name.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's a strong name. He's a strong lad.
Ah, and now you're the captain. Why the sea?
Yeah, but that was an accident.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. I'm the captain now. I don't really mind. But I guess I got a lot more lying to do.
That- one of those cannonballs gave you a promotion. Congratulations!
So why the sea? Have you been in it your whole life? Or?
No, I just always loved it, and you know, don't really have a lot of money, and seasoned pirates get you a lot of coins.
You're brilliant at it, obviously.
I've been on the Saucy Jack for about 2 years now. It's pretty good work. Get to stop in a lot of places and
Yeah. Lovely
drink lots
this.
of grog. The lads are really nice.
It's an acquired taste, I think.
Sure.
Well, how long has the Abigail been after you?
Well, I'll tell you, you've been chasing the Abigail.
I've been chasing the Abigail.
And the Abigail,
Right.
Abigail came about and got you guys first.
Yeah.
Yeah, spotted you
Have
guys.
I been chasing the Abigail for the
Uh,
entirety
the Abigail,
of my...
Abigail came up. You guys decided to take a contract out on the Abigail about 7 months ago. And
Bad idea.
And when the Spanish fleet went missing,
Yeah.
you guys went to St. Lucio to find out if there was a connection, and that's when the Abigail happened upon you. So you-
Ambushed, as it
yeah,
were.
ambushed as it were. Not easy to do in a frigate, but the Abigail did it.
Well, Maggie, we're here to help. Captain Finn.
I need it a lot. I don't understand what's up with this ship. It shouldn't be able to do the things that it does.
Really? Like what?
Yeah, the Abigail always seems to have the wind in her favor. Always. Even when you guys are sailing against the wind. So sometimes she doesn't seem to answer to the proper laws of seamanship. And you've definitely taken note of that, for
Yep.
sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Some say they sold their soul to the sea gods.
A bit unusual.
I really don't know how to defeat them.
Perhaps that's somewhere we can help. No idea how I'm going to get inside information about the Abigail, but I'd like to find out.
I assume that's why the king sent you, right?
Absolutely.
Good. Because my men are losing steam pretty quickly. I'm just British now.
Don't you worry,
I
Captain
could
Finn.
just keep going.
By the time you guys have made it back to the beach with your kill, Cillian has coordinated this crew into being a wood chopping machine.
Not actually doing any of it yourself, I'm assuming.
I'm doing something else, if I may.
Yeah.
Oh,
yay.
no.
What are you doing?
I'm making a spear. I want a weapon.
You're like, I need a weapon.
Do I have to roll for this?
No, this is
No?
what happens. You sit down, you say, this is a good one, and you start chipping away to make a weapon out of it. And one of the sailors walking past you says, "Boy, what you doing?"
I'm making a spear, obviously.
We'll give you a sword, mate, if you want a sword.
Oh, all right. Sounds much better.
Yeah. Go talk to old Jim. He's the quartermaster. He'll give you a sword.
Oi, Jim,
Jim's,
can I have a sword?
yeah, all right. Just take whichever one suits you. They're in the black wrap over there.
Now that I think about it, we're chopping down trees with axes. Why do I need a spear?
You're like, what has happened to me? What has become of my brain?
We're off the desert island, and
It's
that mentality
island,
sets
it's this
in.
island
Yeah.
life.
Suddenly you're
exactly.
Robinson
Suddenly,
Crusoe.
yeah. Suddenly I want to
You're very
spin.
far from
They come back, and when you guys arrive, you are gathering all sorts of interesting data on the life here, Bargle. This whole island has been just a trove of biological data. You've heard of Earth. You've never been here. You know that this is one of the rare planets in the universe that is teeming with life, and multiple times during its history was almost destroyed by the people that lived here.
It's got a very bad reputation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But now that you're getting a first-hand look, you're actually kind of marveling at the richness of the world here. Planet Earth 2, by the way, is out. Yay! I'm gonna watch it. All right. So anyway,
Oh right. Yeah,
I'm a total
yeah.
environmental
Bloody hell, I
junkie.
forgot about
the
that.
sequel to our actual
Sorry.
planet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank
anyway,
God it's ready.
So the scene when you arrive is the wood chopping crews have been coordinated. These big, you see these probably about 5 or 6 trunks of trees
Yeah.
piled up on the beach of men just chopping off the ends of them and getting the wood ready. You see Cillian is just looking at this pirate saber. This thing is really off balance, but you could definitely do something with this. As you guys walk up onto the beach, Amy, the doctor's sonic screwdriver once again begins to buzz.
Hold on one moment. Everybody's seen it by this point, so it's
Sure.
just my
Yeah.
weird glowy torch.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bill's right at your side, of course, because he's like, okay, what's
Same
what is-
reading.
what-
Same
what is it?
reading
What
as
is it?
before on the ship.
It's your Portuguese.
It's back at the same reading as
It's
we
not
saw
on
on
the
the ship.
it's not on the ship. It's here on the island.
Where?
You're
Far?
gonna have
Near?
to. No, the direction you just came from. You guys just came after 2 hours in the jungle here.
Is it one of those weather things again?
You know, I do believe we might have a weather situation. Carry on. We'll just go have a look then. Where did you get a
Right.
sword?
Who gave him
About
the
5
sword?
minutes ago. That guy gave it to me.
I mean,
Tall Jim stops and looks at you and says, "Lady, if that's okay, Captain."
Well, we've sort of become fast
I
friends,
told
me
you
and
to
Jim.
watch him,
Oh,
not give him a sword.
sorry. He seemed all right.
no, I'm sure he's very safe with it, and he'll be extremely careful.
Yes, and we're
I
very
promise.
important
Please
people
just-
from the king.
Don't
Scout's
hurt
honour.
yourself,
So
all right?
perhaps I
King's
Sure,
honour.
sure,
Yeah,
excellent.
King's
Yes.
honour. That's right.
Yes.
Why shouldn't I have a sword? I work for the king.
Could I have a sword too, then?
Yeah.
Jim looks
Doesn't
at
he
you.
need
Just,
for that?
just.
Yeah. Just take one of the.
Great.
Walk over. You grab up another one of these. Yeah, it looks like a pirate saber.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Yes,
These things have been
Cheers,
kept in pretty
eh?
well repaired. They look
Right.
like they've been crudely sharpened, but they work. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You get cling. Cheers. All right. So, moving on. I need you guys, as you guys venture back into the jungle.
Yes, we do.
Welcome to the jungle. Somebody
where
had
you
somebody
are,
had to do
baby?
it. Somebody had to do it. All right.
No.
And it
Keep
had
telling
to
yourself
be.
no.
No.
Duncan's like never.
But do we have fun and games, though?
Ooh, that's a good
Yes,
question.
We got
do.
everything you want.
That's a great question.
Honey, we know the name.
God.
I'm not sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to need ingenuity and survival.
From all four of us.
Oh, I'm sorry, awareness and survival. Still learning the attribute system here.
Everybody?
Yeah. Amy, you're going to get a plus 4 to the roll because your sonic screwdriver is actually kind of working like a metal
That's
detector.
actually awareness
Okay.
and survival.
Awareness and survival.
9.
Okay.
Can I roll your
Yes.
21.
You absolutely may.
21!
Okay. Once again, the doctor shouts out the.
2 5.
By the way,
Eight.
Gina, have you spent any story points yet?
Nope.
Okay, cool. You're still sitting at 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've got an 11
got
for
5.
this roll.
Okay.
I'm waiting in case we need to fight Ambrose again.
Yeah.
Wise.
Okay, so you chopping through the bush. Thankfully, it's a nice cooler day here in the tropics, which is unusual. But as you guys kind of move your way through the bush, you come to, as you're pushing your way through the green foliage, you're all confronted by a massive cave. This huge cave that sort of yawns open. This thing's probably about 80 feet high at its peak, but it looks like it goes into the rock face of what makes up this island. It's completely overgrown, and down below is total darkness. And that's where the sonic is pointing you. And you guys all kind of have followed through and managed to get through the underbrush.
So now I have a note from last session.
Yeah.
It's a cave, not a hole.
You might need to ask the doctor.
Mike's-
Okay.
Sorry, ears.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was for everybody who tuned into episode 1.
That was an insect.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see this
Important
cave.
scientific distinction between a cave.
Cave and a
And
hole.
a
Because a
hole.
hole is a cave that goes down.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, yawning opening into this cave and. it
Any
looks like
signs of
there's no
animal or
door.
human habitation?
With that, I'm sorry, your roll was 21.
21.
No, it doesn't look like it doesn't. At least it doesn't look like any animals have lived here. It looks like with 21, I will say that it's unusual that there's not more overgrowth on the outside of this cave. Because this place is pretty much completely covered in greenery and jungle from the island and whatnot. Tropical flowers and all the sorts of whatnot. But the entrance to this cave looks like maybe it's been cleared.
We
Could
should
be by weather, could be natural, could not be. It's hard to say.
Let's all be a bit careful here.
Yes, I think I'll bring up the rear.
I think I'll stand back.
I'll take the lead.
Yay!
Got a sword now.
Our Doctor Who dungeon crawl, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. Yay.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
I'll pull my gun.
And we've got Finn
You
with
see
us
her
on a
pull out this
dungeon
wheel-lock
crawl.
pistol, just
Ah, I see what you did there.
flintlock. She just
Yeah.
pulls it back.
Yeah.
You could say,
What time is it?
it's adventure time. But don't, because it's a terrible joke.
It's a terrible joke.
Terrible,
But
terrible
it's
joke.
a great show, though.
I love it.
It's
And
a great
almost
show.
over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
So
Yep.
Captain Finn pulls out his.
Suddenly Jeff Bridges
It's
is there.
Yeah.
Hard. It's hard. I know.
Hey, man.
Genders.
By
What
the
is it?
way, can I just say how awesome this is? You're great.
Finn pulls out his gun, pulls back the hammer on it, gets it set up. You guys are kind of taking a cue from the captain. He clearly anticipating danger. And really, the only light you have is your sonic.
Is it enough to navigate by?
Normally, on the other sonic screwdrivers, like say Capaldi's and Tennant's and all that other stuff, I would say probably not. But your sonic screwdriver, which I think if you refer to the picture, actually has like a dome shape on the top. You just click it on, and it goes.
Cool.
You're like, of all the hundreds and hundreds of years that you've been alive, why didn't you think of
Thousands.
this before? Maybe you have thought of this before? Don't know.
Finally, one of these that does this.
You shine it in. It's dim lighting, but you will be able to see where you're going if you all stick together.
I'm from the
Yeah.
21st century. Do I have a smartphone on me?
Are you gonna take your
Spend a story
smartphone
point,
out
I'll give you a
and-
smartphone.
Nice.
Spend a story point, I'll give you a
Actually,
smartphone.
you know what?
I can't
Shit.
believe
What?
we're doing. I
We
can't
don't have a
believe
charger.
we're
You were
doing this.
pulling out a phone
I
in
am-
front
I mean,
of
the
me.
sonic screwdriver is pretty weird too.
You know
Yeah,
what?
but that at least just
I'm
looks like a
activating my
magic
resourceful
wand.
pockets
He's
trait.
pulling out a magic.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Resourceful
you
Yeah,
can just.
pockets
I'm
trait.
Ah,
I'm spending a story point to look in one of Bill's mini pockets and
Oh.
I've
find
been at sea for
some
too
sort
long.
of light
Hold on,
emitting
hold on.
King
thing
has
as well.
clearly made some inventions while I was gone.
Hold up, hold up.
What's that?
Nice.
1 second.
We might be scrapping my thing in this.
Okay.
Okay, so you pull out your smartphone
Yeah.
and you realize. Oh shit, that's true too.
Oh, you know what? I got completely soaked.
Yeah, I was
It's
thinking about
probably
that.
Dead.
What I was trying to factor in is how long it's been on since you started your travels.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is you guys have been time traveling and universe jumping. So I tell you what,
And yet
if
you've
you
still
spend
got
2
signal.
story points, I'll let you have a functioning smartphone with it still has battery.
All right.
And you're like,
All right.
oh yeah, this. Okay. As you're like, you fit in with your sonic screwdriver, you whip out your iPhone. You see a
Yeah.
torch.
Yeah.
But not a torch, but a torch, but not a torch. These two are holding devices you've never even.
Yeah.
Clearly the king is invested in science.
Yeah, which is what I just said.
Right.
I was at sea for too long.
Yeah.
Many
We've made-
discoveries in science have been made
What
now.
advancements?
Eric,
You understand about
can I
keeping
activate my
secrets.
resourceful pockets trait?
Yeah, that'll just give you something, won't it?
Yeah, if I spend a story point, I can get what I need or roll 2 dice. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do, just to switch it up a little bit, is as Bill's rifling through the pockets on his coveralls, he finds a pair of goggles that function kind of like low light.
Is anybody else
So-
having Jurassic Park flashbacks?
Yeah, right.
Are those heavy? Then they're expensive. Put it back.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just like little swimming goggles, and he kind of snaps them on, and he's peering around very intently.
Weird ass stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn, you're.
I'm just not gonna ask
You know what?
questions anymore.
I've seen things.
I've seen it all.
I've seen-
I've seen things in the
now.
past 24 hours. I've seen things. Yeah, you just strap it on, and at first you're just hit with this blinding wall of light because you're still outside the cave. So you just kind of like dip your head in.
Are
and-
all of these things bright enough for me to see?
Yeah.
Well, except for
Goggles
mine.
don't
'cause-
help you.
Well,
but
except
those
for-
goggles don't
Yeah.
help me.
Between Cillian and the doctor, yeah, you've got enough to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only like a few feet ahead of us, right?
Yeah, I would say 5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
5 feet ahead.
I accept
What
that.
kind of space is this?
Uh,
Shall we?
Massive, probably.
yes. So you guys gonna venture into the cave?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys move into this cave, and immediately the temperature drops. As soon as you step inside, as you go deeper into the cool earth.
It's a wee bit chilly in here.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
As you guys sort of move down, there is growth in here. You do see a lot of plants. No signs of animal life. The odd crab will just scurry past you from under a rock, which is a little unusual because they don't normally go this far inland. But as you guys continue moving through the cave, this is going to be an easy roll, but I just need to make sure that nobody does anything that harms themselves as they're moving through the darkness.
I hope
give you-
someone does.
I'm going to give you a +2 on the roll.
Okay.
So I need you guys to make a coordination athletics roll.
Go ahead.
Could be Bill.
7.
+2, you said?
A
Our
+2.
favorite combo.
Yay.
16.
Okay.
11.
What was it? What am I adding
15.
together?
Coordination athletics.
Athletics.
It's just to make sure that you guys managed to make through the darkness of the cave. Okay.
Don't trip over her shoes.
12.
What's that? 12. Okay. As you guys are moving deeper into the cave, you're stepping over these mossy stones and moving through this cold soil. The temperature it's dropped as typical from being inside of a cave like this. But you begin to feel a temperature shift a little bit as you guys sort of start coming to what looks like a light down towards the end of this cave. Interestingly enough, this cave itself is pretty easy to get through. It looks like it's a natural occurrence for sure, but it's very convenient in that it's pretty leveled, and there are just stones cropping up all over the place. The closer you get to this light source that goes straight on through at the very end, you begin to realize it's probably an exit to the other side. You guys emerge finally after walking for about 10 minutes. As y'all emerge at the end of this cave, you're immediately hit with that blast of sea air. You smell the salt of the ocean, the wind blowing in your hair for a second as you guys emerge on the other side. And you're kind of taking a look at the survey of the island. And all 4 of you, yeah, you got to take those goggles off because it's kind of blinding. All 4 of you have the same moment of like breath catching. As you look down below, probably about a quarter of a mile away at an anchor is the Abigail. Sails have been pulled up. She's moored just about 200 yards off, and you see a crew down on the beach,
Oh, shit.
along with longboats and yeah,
So they're setting up camp.
it looks like they're setting up camp on the opposite
shit.
side of the island, and your sonic screwdriver is pointing in the direction of the Abigail.
It's there. That's where we need to go.
Doctor,
It's a beautiful ship. It's
I
a massive
smell
ship.
an ambush coming. We can't fight the Abigail on the sea, so why don't we fight her on land?
You need to take Ambrose down, Captain Ambrose down, and we need to know what's on that ship.
Do we get to commandeer a pirate ship? Please tell me.
Possibly silly.
Duncan's inner child is just going, oh my god, do we get to take over a pirate ship? Yes.
I don't know where you came from, but I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. Me too.
Companions, they just drop in your, they just drop out of the sky. It's like,
He doesn't know he's a companion, but I do.
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Let's steal a
All
ship.
right.
I will say again, the Abigail, she is a frigate, so it's a 3-masted ship with a lot of guns. She is
How
beautiful.
many people are on this thing?
Frigates have a lot of people,
Hundreds?
and
Dozens?
not hundreds. I think I could just
We're
look
st-
this
we're
up.
still
real quick.
probably outnumbered, right?
There are 4 of
Yes.
us, so.
Well, I'm not. I mean, the crew
Yeah, how much
of
crew do I have left?
the Saucy Jack.
The Jack, you guys are a brig.
Yeah, but I mean,
I
some
can't
men
believe, I cannot believe that Google actually knew what I was typing in just
Which,
now.
by the way, Saucy Jack sounds like a sandwich at Jack in the Box.
So
to
you
me.
know, I actually pulled the
It
name of
does,
these
yeah.
ships from actual ships that existed in the 17th
Cool.
century. There was a ship, there's a registry that I pulled from.
Not the Saucy Jack, though.
Yeah.
The Saucy Jack was the
Wow.
name, yes.
Amazing.
I thought you were just making a
Nope,
Spinal
Saucy
Tap
Jack,
reference.
no. Saucy Jack was the name of a frigate. So you got
The
about,
Spinal Tap was making a Saucy Jack reference.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
oh goodness, I actually was incorrect. So to give you an idea of how many guns a frigate has, this is a 32-gun ship.
Holy.
So you
And
are
I'm
lucky
an
to be
8?
alive. Well, brigs actually have more than 8.
Oh,
You guys
okay.
are
Say the
using
word brig and I hear
8-pounders.
prison.
You guys are
They
using
were,
8-pounders. I
Yeah.
did say 8 guns, but you guys,
You
what I
did.
meant to say is you guys are 8-pound cannons.
cannonballs. Okay.
And I'm guessing you've got about half as that much, so probably 15-gun ship.
Okay.
Outgunned and outnumbered.
Yeah.
Sorry, just looking up what a brig looks like.
Significantly smaller. Yeah, brigs are much smaller than frigates. Brig is probably, oh my goodness.
32, you said? 32 guns?
In 1797, these were outfitted with 42-pounder cannons. That would have obliterated you guys if you.
Holy moly.
Couple of direct hits, yeah.
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 But anyway,
How much crew are on the beach?
so
Yeah, wow.
it's hard to say from just looking at it, but you'd probably say you're looking at about 60 crew down there.
Okay.
And that's probably
And how
the-
much do I know are generally on a ship that size?
On a frigate,
Yeah.
there's probably 80 crew member.
So there's
on
still
a
like
frigate.
20-ish.
80
men
to
on the
100,
ship.
yeah. At least from what you know of this ship, probably 80 to 100 men. Now your brig, you guys probably got 50 to 60 men on your ship.
That's not great.
Is there any way to
It's
do
not
this
good.
without killing a lot of people?
There's the doctor we know and love.
it's just, I don't love.
You don't like the idea of slaughtering these
No.
people, but
Can we just sneak on it somehow? I mean, we couldn't take the crew with us, and that would
It's-
make it kind of impossible to
you tell me.
command the ship.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try to sneak. Okay,
Oh, God.
so
Well,
Just
wait.
the
I think-
4 of us.
What have I done?
I probably wouldn't have said it like that out loud. Let's see. You know, I don't. You've got a lovely crew, and I believe we're a bit outnumbered. So, give us a chance to see if we can figure out what's going on with the Abigail and take her down and save the lives of a whole lot of good men. I've got an idea. I don't really have an idea.
well,
But
but the captain needs to get the captain of that ship, right? That's
There's a
their
higher
mission.
reward. It's dead or alive. But
Yeah.
there is a higher reward if Ambrose is taken alive. If he's brought to justice so he can hang.
So before we get
Bring-
on the
yeah,
ship,
bring
we
him alive
kinda
so they can
have
kill
to
him.
He's worth more
get
alive?
Ambrose.
Yeah, he's worth a lot alive.
Oh.
He's worth a whole lot alive because they want to make an example of him. But if you kill him at sea, just bring proof that you killed him. His ship, or
His head.
which in Blackbeard's case is what happened.
Yeah.
What was the name of the
head?
Englishman that took? Yes. So the Englishman that killed Blackbeard
Yeah.
decapitated him and mounted his head on the front of his ship
Gross.
and sailed into
History.
harbor. And then this English captain had Blackbeard's skull hollowed out and turned into a mug.
Yep.
So you tell me who was
History,
more twisted.
kids.
Yeah, the golden age of piracy. By the way, real quick aside, I'm just going to signal boost something here real quick. There's a book called Under the Black Flag. It's the actual historical accounting of the golden age of piracy, with contrasted with the fictional accounts. And it's so entertaining and inspiring and interesting to read. It's so you will discover that pirates were not fun people.
But is Maggie a real historical person, or
People kind of think that they were all Jack Sparrow sometime, or that they were just like, haha,
Fun.
outlaws. But there's a story in there about a French pirate that captured a Portuguese ship at sea. And one of the things you never do, it's a quick little history lesson, one of the things you never do when you're being chased by pirates is run. They don't like it when you run. If they have to catch you, they've got a problem with you. And this particular merchant ship decided that they could outrun this guy, and they couldn't. I don't remember the name of the pirate or the merchant, but the records in court when they were captured and they were tried for piracy and all hung, the records in court showed that the survivors stated that the captain, the pirate captain, had the merchant captain brought to the deck of the ship, where he was gutted His intestines were nailed to the deck of the ship, and his backside was spanked with a flaming 4x4, and he was forced to dance to death. Actual
Holy
eyewitness
shit,
account.
man.
So pirates were not actually nice people.
You're nice though.
Great.
But Doctor Who is nice pirates. We're not doing this.
Pirates.
This is a show that would be on the BBC, so we're not going to see
bounty
any of that.
hunters.
But
bounty
horrifying
hunters.
history
I don't-
fact.
But like,
Neil
okay,
and-
is Maggie a real historical person, or are we just drawing
Well,
on
but
the
I mean,
Maggie just a
there's
I'm
historical evidence of that, though, right?
I
Yes.
outfitted
Oh, yeah.
a pirate.
This is the
queen
thing, though,
info.
is since you have historical memory
Yeah.
of the Abigail and historical memory of the Saucy Jack,
Yeah.
you might actually remember a Captain Finn.
Yeah. And I definitely also would be aware that there were real women who ran around
Yes.
being pirates.
Yes, and Bonnie and Mary Read are real
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
for the record, Captain Jack, who is the captain of that vessel, Jack Rackham, he's most famous for the fact that he's got the typical pirate cross-sword skull. That's his flag that you see everywhere. But he was actually a terrible pirate. His only claim to fame was the fact that he hung out with Anne Bonny and Mary Read. No joke.
Really? On the Saucy Jack?
No, this is actual history.
Like
Jack,
the-
Jack Rackham, who was an
Oh.
actual pirate, his only real claim to fame was the fact that
Hung out with the lady pirates.
he had Anne Bonny and Mary Read on his crew. And Anne
Who
Bonny
also
and Mary
dressed as men.
I could talk my head off about this stuff.
Pirates!
Anne Bonny,
Yeah.
Anne Bonny and Mary Read met when one of them thought the other one was a boy and had him she had him dragged into her cabin because she wanted to have her way with him. No joke. And that's when the other one revealed, "Oh, I'm a woman." And so she was like, "Oh, well, you're on our crew now."
Did they hook up anyway?
It's amazing.
No, they didn't hook up, but there
Does
is
history
there
record
is
whether they
there
hooked
is
up
a
anyway?
historic
Fake out
there is
there.
a
You
funny
know
account.
that.
There is a historical account where one of them was sleeping with one of the members of the crew, and there was a bar fight, and it was either Anne Bonny or Mary Read, but there's an eyewitness account where one of them flashed her breasts. So while the guy was stunned, she pulled a gun and shot him in the head. There's an actual accounting of that
I
happening.
have to forgive a lot of movies right now for their
man.
terrible tropes, which
Yes.
apparently are based on real life.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, it's true. But I mean, it's the age of piracy. It was like
do
there
what
are
you
no
gotta do.
rules. I'm gonna
There's
do
no
whatever.
Rules,
Yeah.
You're on a ship for a long time. You see.
I'm guessing the pirate that died was stunned because he thought he was fighting a man, and then
Yeah.
oh,
Well, yeah, and
yeah.
you haven't seen a woman in like many.
Yeah.
Many,
Shout out to Terry
many
Pratchett's
months
book
or
Monstrous
years.
Regiment right now, by the
No.
way.
So anyway, check out Under the Black Flag. It's a great book. That just ate up like 8 minutes of
Where's
game
that?
time. Sorry,
Check out
guys.
the book Get in the Van, which is a historical reference of the punk band Black Flag.
Nice. I
Yeah.
do actually have an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
What's your idea?
if we were to wait till nightfall, and this might be like a do I already know if I have any way to do this, but I'm guessing their crew, much like ours, might indulge in a little libation. If we needed, for instance, a whole lot of people to go to sleep, so we could take a look around. Do we have anything that would do that?
Well, no, but you actually are. That's how and I'm not going back into the diatribe, but that's actually how they captured Blackbeard. His crew was drunk.
Yeah.
They were anchored, and his crew was drunk. So your strategy here actually might work perfectly, because the last
Nice
cruise,
idea, Doctor.
the last time they saw your ship limping away at full speed, after getting blasted to hell, so they're probably not anticipating. Plus, also putting 2 and 2 together, it's possible that they use this island as this sort of a home base.
Yeah.
So probably not expecting you at all. So I would say the doctor would know that she's got advantage here, and it's totally conceivable that the grog alone might actually do the trick.
Okay.
But you might have to wait until nightfall.
Yeah.
When,
Let's.
because they don't have any repairs to make.
No.
So this is let's get shit-faced and just drink and be
Yep.
merry kind of thing.
And that island was
All right.
Carlos San Lucas.
Doctor.
No, wait, that's not an island.
I suggest we go back to our camp. And, as you say, wait for nightfall. And would you agree to have my crew at least waiting in the woods if something bad goes down, so we have some backup?
Not a bad idea.
Okay.
But let's see if we can't prevent any of that happening, shall we?
Yeah, all right. I want Ambrose alive. It's worth more.
There we agree. Excellent. Huh?
I can tell you guys right now, as we move forward, we're not going to be able to finish the story arc today.
That's okay.
We're not ending yet. We still got a few more minutes, but it's 2:44, so this is going to be a two-parter. Yeah.
All right.
This is going to be a two-parter. I kind of typed up a long one on this one, but I mean, it's pirates. And I'm jealous that Ivan gets to play 7th Sea right now. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna
Foreververse is doing 7th Sea at the moment.
yes, Foreververse doing 7th Sea. And I was kind of like, "Ugh." So,
Speaking of which, was it Chovazani? Is that how you pronounce the name?
Joviksani, I think.
Are you the one who did the saucy picture of Amy's character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
from
whoa,
Vast,
whoa,
from
whoa.
Vast, I believe.
No, it was from Foreververse.
Was it
was from
Foreververse?
pirate character.
Amy Vorpal?
Amy Vorpal's character?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
saw that on Twitter. That's right. Yeah.
Very saucy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen
This
this
Amy.
one.
Yeah.
My other Amy.
Yeah.
The other
other
Amy Clone.
Yes, sorry. Killing word Vorpal.
Yes. Okay, so I'm guessing you're heading back to the beach then, to your side of the beach. So it takes you about half an hour or so getting back through the jungles. But when you get there, your men are just relaxing. It looks like
Yeah.
they've been making a few trips back and forth to the boat.
Have any of them checked whether there's can I spend a story point to have asked them to check if there's anything that shouldn't be there in the hold?
Oh, no one's really looked. Most people are above the decks as they're loading the wood planks on. But if you want to go onto the ship, you could check.
Yes. How long would that take?
You could do it before sunset for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you just get on the boat. You guys, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Following the doctor.
Yeah,
Okay.
following the doctor.
I'm just
Sword in hand.
prepping my crew for a possible ambush.
Okay, so you're gonna stay on the beach. You're gonna go.
Yeah,
back
I'm gonna
to-
stay on the beach.
Okay, cool. You guys get in a longboat, head back to the Saucy Jack, climb up the rope ladder to the top, get inside, go below decks. As you guys move through, you notice that some of the light in here is dimmed a bit because there's no longer a hole in the side of the ship. But as you move towards the back, you see the beautiful sight of a blue phone box.
Oh, thank
Please,
God.
Goodness.
Right where you left it, quote unquote. Right where she left and then came back.
Hang on a minute here. I know we're supposed to be helping this crew out. We could just leave.
Why would you do that?
What? I'm so
When I was
glad-
writing this up,
I'm
I was
so
like,
glad
I
I'm
swear to
not-
God, when I was writing up this story, I was like, you know, if the TARDIS comes back too soon, Duncan's gonna want to just. I swear to God, Duncan's gonna be like 2 + 2 = 4. Why are we here?
No.
Well, but no, people are in danger.
Insatiable curiosity.
We have to help the
What I
captain
haven't
and
mentioned quite yet is that
Fine.
that tear that we found,
Yeah.
it's connected to us a bit. So it might be, we may need to look around a little more before we go and make sure we haven't left any other damage in the past of your planet.
Need. All right,
In the
I'm,
meantime, can I check on
I'm
Veli?
following your lead, Doctor.
I want to see what the TARDIS looks like now.
Okay.
And I want to make sure Velik's alive.
Okay.
Please.
You guys, you pull out your key, open the door, the TARDIS, the doors pop open, and once again, you guys are staring into this massive room. The interior of the TARDIS now, because we don't have the graphic, but essentially, and I hope y'all don't mind, but I'm going to borrow straight from season 9 Capaldi, because the interior of the TARDIS now looks amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Google it. The interior of the TARDIS now is all these blues and bright colors. You see the console looks it's completely. It doesn't look like a patch job, sort of like Mad Scientist. It looks like a straight up. This almost looks like classic Gallifreyan meets a more modern sort of styled Doctor. Also, there are 2 catwalks that now surround the entire interior of the control room, and on different sections of these catwalks are like bookshelves, reference materials. There's a chalkboard. There's a coat rack.
I'm going to assume it also looks partly like the Beast's library.
Yes, a little bit, yes. Your version of the TARDIS, I could see having tons of bookshelves all over the place, all with reference materials. Data from the TARDIS's databanks that have been transcribed into ancient books and placed on a bookshelf, as reality has kind of just warped itself to fit the new regeneration of the Doctor.
Bill, sorry.
So we'll
Very
use that as a
nice.
basic template, and as we go forward, Amy Dallin, you get to tell me what the interior of the TARDIS looks like.
Bill just
this is
lets out
your
kind of a
TARDIS, not
pleased
mine.
whimper.
But you see the sliding screen consoles that have now been added. You see the data jack where if you wanted to put in the sonic screwdriver to process the data that you've captured.
Does the captain come with us?
No, Captain's still
No,
back on
I
the beach.
stayed on the
By the way,
beach. Okay.
there is a snoring Centauran
Oh, thank God.
on the ground.
Snoring Sontaran.
Snoring Centauran.
Snoring
Sontaran.
Chances are, in
Do you
this
think you could
Centauran's
lift
timeline,
Blue Death,
Velik
or is that
probably
not
no
in
time
your
has passed at all.
capabilities?
Fantastic.
Reality seems
don't really
to.
know.
Typically,
Suppose I
it's
could
not a
try.
good idea to be inside this thing when it's reorganizing itself, but
None of the rules are operating the way they 100%
it's not
do.
dangerous per se. But it seems like it's been just fine.
Oh, thank goodness.
The thing is Velik was not conscious, so it didn't alter the reality quotient of the interior of the room, and therefore it was able to warp itself without any problems.
I'm gonna see that there's a nice room for him where he can recuperate,
plenty.
and it's locked.
It's locked. Oh, okay. Yes, you can take him down. I'll be
Take him
right-
down?
Yes. She pulls a
Oh,
gun.
I
and-
see, I
no,
see,
yeah, no.
yeah.
So the doctor, before I'm guessing you basically, you're gonna need their help to carry Velik.
Would
Because
you all mind giving me a hand?
he is
I think our librarian friend
not
might need.
easy to carry.
Speaking of not easy to carry, are we rolling for this, or is this just happening? This is just happening,
I'll just say,
Speaking of hard to carry, I've just asked Bill, do you think you could lift Blue Death, or is that outside of your capabilities?
Well, I don't really know. I suppose I could give it a shot.
Can I hear this? Am I here?
yeah, there's a
Okay,
massive deadly
Doctor,
weapon laying on the deck.
Doctor, it's just in case.
No.
I don't want to. Oh, come on.
There
What,
will be
what if,
absolutely not.
what if we get ambushed?
Oh, come on!
What if we get ambushed, Doctor? What if we come out of here and
I
they
don't even
found
want it on my
us?
ship.
Bloody
On the
hell.
TARDIS.
All right. Fine.
I'm locking that in a separate closet.
Where I can't get to it. I can't lift that thing up.
Yeah, that's the thing that's terrifying. Here's an Earth creature with alien tech that destroys things. That's never a good combination. So, with help,
Can I sonic screwdriver to disable the gun
Yes.
temporarily? Yeah.
absolutely go ahead and make
You're no fun anymore.
no, I'm gonna say you can just do that. It's a sonic
Yeah.
screwdriver, so you basically just click on the locking mechanism of this thing. So now
Safe.
it'll.
We won't be needing
Yeah.
that.
Bill does go try to pick
We
it up
might
though,
be
just for shits
needing
and giggles.
that.
Yeah. So when you pick this thing up, it's yeah, you have to put your knees into it. It's heavy. You can
Yeah.
lift it and carry
Yeah.
it, but it's not light. The fact that the Centauran wields it with one arm, it's really making you appreciate how powerful that little.
So he kind of drops it down and he picks his sword back up and he's like, well, and I suppose that'd be a little bit unsporting anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, come on. It's there. We should use it.
Absolutely not.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know. Have you been in? I don't know that much about where you're from, but have you been in a fight? Have you seen war?
well, I've been in a fight, but
You've
I've
seen
never
I've
been in
seen
a
cannonballs
war.
destroy two people.
That's a good point. Yeah, I have seen that.
I've seen it, and you don't want to. That's not what we do.
I kind of want to, but I'll just take your word for it, Doctor. You seem to know what you're talking about.
I promise, I do.
All right.
It's also the fact that this technology being used in this century on Earth could have dire consequences.
Yeah.
Because that gun could probably puncture
Prime
holes
directive
in any
and
hole.
all that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
prime directive
All
and all
right.
that.
Paradox.
All right,
But you don't know
fine.
if it's your Earth, so,
That's
yeah.
the way she gets
You
through
The
to
doctor
me.
quotes Star Trek,
Yeah.
and then you're just like,
and
oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
that's fine.
All right, yeah, good point. All right. What would Picard
There's a
do?
television program from your time. You might be familiar with it.
What would Picard do? Not what would Kirk do. What would
Documents.
Picard do
Yeah,
here?
yeah. You've both been amazing, but it is very important that we not mess up the past of your planet any more than we can avoid it.
Okay.
Right.
I'll go with you on that one, Doctor.
All right. So they heft this massive weapon up, and following you, you guys are led deeper into the TARDIS. You realize that this is like it's mapped out like a small building almost. You walk down some corridors where you see doors. Some of these doors, some of them look futuristic. Some of them look like ancient doors leading into old archaic libraries. Cillian, as you're walking past one of these, you kind of pause and glance back as you're walking past the doorway because you've noticed there's a swimming pool You're just kind of like, what? in the-" Yeah, you enter a main library. When you guys walk into the library, on the other side of the library is your destination. But this library is this massive, like 4-story, like winding library filled with tomes and staircases. And in the dead center is one peculiar book that has a golden plate on the front of it. And all of these circular writings, it does have writing in your language, though, as you approach it. As you guys kind of glance down on it, it says the history of the Time War as you're walking past it. It's rather large.
Check that out.
No, you're just kind of looking at it.
Too bad you didn't.
You come to basically the equivalent of sleeping quarters. There's nothing to indicate that you're inside of a police box right now. You come to sleeping quarters. There's a very nice bed waiting inside. It looks like sort of a ship's sleeping quarters. So it's got all the stuff that Velig would need. Yep. And
By the way, Doctor, the way police box is translating to me right now doesn't quite add up with what I'm seeing here.
That's a very good point, actually. See, she used to be able to make all kinds of different shapes, but she got a bit stuck once visiting his planet. And now she's a blue box.
all those years ago.
All right
It's a
then.
long time ago.
So it could be anything at one time.
Yeah, it's. There were many of them where I came from.
I see.
Memories of Gallifrey, how it used to be.
Where do you come from?
It's a long story.
For another time, I
feels-
suppose.
Another time.
We've got
Feels-
to go sack a
We've got some pirates
frigate.
to save.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're heading back to the console to plug in the sonic
Yeah.
screwdriver? What's up, Gina? Did you?
Can I do things?
Yes, you want to do something?
Yeah.
What would you like to do? You're back on the beach.
Yeah. You said we had those little powder, the black powder. Can
Yeah.
we make little bombs?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make little bombs.
Okay, cool.
You're making
gonna order some of
petards.
these. So what they do is they take these hollowed out, essentially cannonballs, which are grenades, and they fill it with black powder. They're super archaic and volatile as hell. And you light them like you would an old school cartoon bomb.
Yeah.
So you order Tall Jim and a
Yeah.
few of the men to start making those.
Very carefully.
Yeah, when you tell Tall Jim that the Abigail is moored on the other side, there's gasps of
Yeah.
like shock and also like calls for revenge. There's
Yeah.
so many of your crew that are ready to avenge all the people that you guys lost when you were ambushed. Plus they're pirates.
Yeah. They're angry.
Yeah.
They're ready for blood.
So when you make the order for grenades to get made, everyone volunteers their time.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's a general just like grinding as people are
Ready.
sharpening their swords. Everyone is getting ready. When the order comes that you're just going to have them hang back until they're needed, there's a quiet protest.
Yes. I explain though.
Okay.
The least, the more quiet we are, men, the more likely chance that we'll get Ambrose alive. And possibly his ship.
There's some.
So we have to be quite quiet.
Let's have you make a presence.
Okay.
We're going to have you make a presence plus convince roll. And I'm going to have the crew roll.
Okay.
Crew is really bloodthirsty.
Oh
What'd you get?
no. 9. What did you say?
It's
Presence,
presence plus convince.
9, 10, 12. Just 12. I don't have any convince.
12?
Oh, well, yeah. I'll put story points. I inspire the shit out of them.
Okay, so okay,
And that's what story points are for, inspiring
so-
the shit out of people.
you spend if you're going to spend a story point for more to add on to the die roll, or you're just going to increase it, aren't you?
I suppose,
You can increase the level of
right?
success.
You can
and
increase
add
the level of
dice, but
success.
you normally have to do that in advance. But
Oh, well then.
Yeah.
No, I
Here I'll let
can't
you
add
increase
dice.
the level of success.
Okay.
So you did succeed, but now
close,
you're
maybe
going
didn't make
to.
it.
But I'm going to
Ah.
let you increase it to good.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, so I only just made it, and now I'm making it better.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So there's a murmur of excitement because it's a frigate.
Yeah.
And not only is it a frigate, but it's a frigate that's probably loaded with all the gems
Yeah.
of Araby,
Yeah.
as they say.
And just imagine how the stupid look on their faces when we sail away with their ship.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement. Tall Jim also says, you know, Captain, there's another way. If things go south, something else we could do.
I'm listening.
We could set off their powder room.
Ooh.
Things go south.
We could leave them on
That's
this
the
island.
last resort.
He nods.
I want that ship.
Yeah. We'll come back to you, Amy, as we're wrapping this up. You plug in the sonic screwdriver, and it starts processing all of this data, and it's confirming everything the sonic originally scanned. Things in this reality vibrate on a different frequency than things from another reality. There's just like a different harmonic. Things are in different sync. And you guys, all of you, are vibrating on a harmonic that's slightly out of sync with this reality, but you're lining up. The TARDIS itself has managed to sort of incorporate itself into this reality, which is unusual. But these tears in space-time, there are literally little bitty portals, these wounds in space-time. They could take you to any of the other multiverses that you want. But
Really?
Yes.
Like each one a different one, or anyone from them, or can you pilot that? Or
You don't know, but it should be completely possible for you to get back home if you wanted to do it. It seems conceivable. You need more data because you don't know what the effects would be.
Yeah.
And you also don't know what's waiting for you back in the other reality. Because if you reappear in your old reality and everything reasserts itself, who knows what happens to you and the rest of them. Because at this point, you guys have created your own timeline in an alternate reality. And it's possible that if you return, none of this ever happened. And maybe none of you exist in your own current. It's hard to say. Because now you're dealing with theories that exist outside of what even the Time Lords are familiar with.
Wow.
And I know how much damage we did getting here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to leave off
Yeah!
for this episode of Doctor Who on Eric's TBD RPG. Thank you so much, Gina, for playing with us. Hopefully we can have you back next week so we can finish this off.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to kill some pirates.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to our hopefully informative episode of piracy and whatnots. Catch us back here next Friday. And like I said at the top of the episode, you'll be able to catch the VODs if you're a Twitch subscriber or an Alpha subscriber. The first episode is up on YouTube right now if you wanted to play catch up. And I think that's it. So thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-ding, do-do-do-ding, do-do-do-do-do.